started recording. Well, that's good because I haven't said anything. So, hello everyone from the YouTube VOD. Nice to make your acquaintance. I was just about to summarize kind of what I've been up to. For the past week, this is my first week back in a while. And I've basically just been bug fixing. The entire time I was gone, my team has been voraciously and steadfastly finding bugs and basically trying to break the install and just find things for me to fix so we can try and polish it up for you guys. I'm very pleased to say that nothing we've encountered, I think it's been, frankly, much, maybe I should not jinx myself, I should knock on wood here. It's been a lot less problematic than I expected. We've got quite a lot of little things, like little tiny fixes here and there, but nothing that is nearly as worrisome as, like, we've got like one repeatable crash. One? Two? One. And I can't even manage to replicate it. So, I mean, that could also be a problem unto itself. But those are like big things to me, like, you know, game breaking, features not working, crashing. And generally speaking, stuff has been pretty solid. And the stuff that has been broken, I've been working as diligently as possible to fix. Anniversary Edition is something I wanted to talk about today. Because, yeah, Olivier, Lizzie is the support lead. She is probably our most dedicated tester, I would say. And that's really saying something, because we got some dedicated testers. The whole team has really, like, everyone does different stuff, and I feel like everyone has done just like a smidge of something at the very least. I'm very blessed. Yeah, so Anniversary Edition. This might be a problem of sorts. It's really hard to say, unfortunately, exactly what Anniversary Edition is going to do to Ultimate Skyrim. I think we're gonna be able to roll back changes, theoretically. Which reminds me, I need to set up my own machines that doesn't get borked the day the Anniversary Edition, you know, gets out. It's really, it's tough to say if it's going to delay it. The thing about, so the script mods, finding method addresses and patterns. Well, it's a big deal for a fair amount of mods. It's fair to say, I think. I just don't know. If I'm honest with you, I don't know exactly to what extent it's going to break everything. To me, it's more of a question of how viable will it be for us to roll back the user's installations to, you know, what they were before. Yo, thank you for the hype train. Oh, I gotta pause my music here. Sure. How about this? Well, I'm afraid if I put copyrighted songs in my here. How about 1 hour of relaxing rainy day? Oh, just a little quick aside, if you'll forgive me for the departure. I'm so excited for the new Animal Crossing update, y'all. It's like, I swear to God, it's everything I ever hoped for from an Animal Crossing update. That's all I'll say on it. We can talk about it later. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky. We're gonna have to see, you know, what happens when it updates, kind of what it breaks, and just kind of hope that we can roll back. It is kind of possible to roll back users' machines automatically because of the way that Wabbajack works and some of the features that it has. At least that's my understanding. So all might not be lost. It might very well be possible for us to essentially revert the changes that Anniversary Edition is making until we're able to update and the other mod authors are able to update. However, my understanding of the way that feature works, I do believe we'll kind of end up having to increase the file size by about the file size of the game files themselves, because we have to change them. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's my ideal kind of scenario here is we basically have Ultimate Skyrim players play the existing version, the version that exists right now. Charm Baron, I don't believe the Wabjack will version Skyrim EXE though. Hopefully Bethesda will add non-anniversary edition as a beta. Yeah, maybe. It's just that really... The old Skyrim SE. Stinky business. Saints and sinners involves the solitude sewers. Ah. Fun. I mean, you know, it's the same thing as any other mod update. You gotta... The more we change, the more you have to consider whenever you update any sort of mod. Thank you for the sub, Karanis. Thank you all for the subs. I really appreciate it. So yeah, unfortunately the answer is still kind of a big unknown, at least for me. You know, I've tried to keep up on all the material and all the just news coming out like about it, but I don't think we'll really know for sure exactly what's going to happen until it's there. So, you know, we'll have to kind of wait and see. On the plus side, maybe that means it'll give us a chance to make everything really polished. I can show you guys kind of the Jira feed, so you can see kind of what we're dealing with here. Check this out. So we've got a whole lot of you know, a whole lot of finish tickets here, bug fixes. You can see anything that's got like a little red square like that is a bug. Some of these are features. Most of them are bugs. And it's stuff like here, I'll kind of walk through some of the more severe things with you. So, like, this one's a big one, right? Where I just saw it. Bandit NPCs cause crashes on death. Crashes are very serious for me. I could go to the issues tab, Liz, but I would like to just kind of show it this way, so you get kind of like an understanding of what the process is. Oh, thank you, Jay. I mean, I can also do it. You did give me locations, like in the ticket reports. I can go find them. It's not too much of a hassle. Basically, I just don't update Skyrim, install the mod list from Wabbajack. That's what I'm thinking, Olivier. What I'm gonna try and do is figure out kind of what we can do proactively, and just have users kind of prepare their machines to the best of their ability based on our instructions. The thing that sucks is that the whole goal here, right, is basically a one-click install. It's not literally a one-click install. Like, you have to click a couple times through like a Wabbajack. But I want users to be able to kind of fire and forget, let it install, and then let it run the same way you would any other video game. I've said it a million times before. And this is kind of, if we have to rely on users to manually, you know, revert their game version to some old version, it's not good. Well, that's good. But yeah, I have heard that actually, that SKSE bypasses the update. But, you know, it seems kind of like sketchy to rely on that. So we will see. Yeah, I do think a lot of people have backups of the OG kind of game files. So as long as we have that, you know, our options are opened up a little bit. But yeah, new users are going to be installing the new version. If we have to, I mean, really, if we have to tell users to, like, you know, if there's some process that we all come up with to revert your game to the old version that we need, it's not the end of the world. We're talking about a mod pack that used to require like 10 hours minimum to install manually, so we've already come a long way from there. I just really have high hopes that you guys will be able to install this really easily. And I'm also, you know, targeting... Yeah, exactly, Downing. I'm targeting an audience here of non-modders, people who don't... I don't know, like, if you're even... So I'm a modder of various games, myriad games. Even I get annoyed when I have to do a bunch of esoteric stuff and kind of basically learn a new set of technical skills in order to just play a game. Would just be nice. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. What I'm trying to do, since I can't really control that, and we do kind of need to take some steps, I think, to prepare, but, you know, it's stuff that we can do. What I'm trying to do in the interim is just focus on these kinds of things, right? Like focus on the stuff that I can fix. Going through, there's been a lot of bugs. It's been really, really cool moving through these bugs because it just makes me feel like the experience is going to be even more polished, right? I'm sure you guys are going to find stuff that we can't find because there's only, you know, a handful of us, and as diligent as the team is, it's a big game and there's a lot that's changed about it. But, like, if you go through, like, all of the bugs that we've already fixed and all the ones that I'm gonna fix here before we launch, it is like, yo, thank you for the resub, CP. 11 months. My gosh. How you doing? Thanks for joining us, man. You can see, even from, like, when I shipped the, you know, the release candidate to the team and, like, where it is now on my machine, it's already, like, so much better. Just little usability things, bugs. I don't know. I think it's going to be really good. There's all these like little things that were happening that are all just full on like immersion breakers. This has been a fun one to track down. I just saw it. Bald children. I think I've managed to solve this bug. This was a fun one where for some reason we use this has a good reason. We use cold region behavior instead of wet and cold now. Right? This is the mod that's responsible for making sure people are wearing climate-appropriate attire at any given moment. For some reason that I'm not quite clear on, children, it's probably because of, you know, immersive children and the various mods that we use to make children, like, killable and things of that nature. Oh, yeah, here. For some reason, like, either that or cold region behavior itself, the internal checks for whether or not a character is like an adult versus a child are going wonky. But for whatever reason, the hoods that are intended for adults are being placed on children as well, which is not supposed to be the case. Children in the creation engine are kind of weird, and they have a bunch of particularities that separate them from adults where, well, you know what? I'll just show you. Where is it? Another bald child. Is this? Oh, this is Valgir. Where's Mila? Did I put it? Hold on a second. Here she is. I think I can move this to done because I think it's fixed now. Now look at that hairstyle. That's what I'm talking about, right? Thank you, Chaos Lord. Oh yeah, I can hop in and show you guys some the new kind of like E&B lighting, because unfortunately I couldn't ship the version to my team that had, when I was shipping the version, the release candidate to my team, I was like scrambling. I'd slept 2 hours that night and I had to be on a flight to Baltimore to meet up with Adam. And unfortunately, right at the time when I was kind of compiling it and shipping it to them, there were a bunch of E&B updates from our boy Zangdar, who is working on like the Rudy Cathedral Weathers E&B adjustments, right? So it was like, ah, shit, can't get at those. Those are the E&Bs that I wanted. So I just handed off, you know, the basic Rudy to them, said you can swap it out, blah, blah, blah. I myself have now swapped in the new E&B that Zangdar put together for Lux. And, you know, you guys, I don't want to characterize your opinions. I'll let you be the judge. But we'll hop in and you can kind of show me, tell me what you think. Old school killable children mods work by removing the child flag from child NPCs. Slayable offspring leaves that flag intact and hooks the engine to make them... Ooh! Okay, let's do that right now. Thank you for that, Charm Variant. The solution that I came up with, which is like the most basic shit you could possibly imagine, was just having the condition for cold region behaviors, or the adding a condition to the spell that's responsible for equipping the equipment on the NPCs to just bypass anyone with the child race, right? But I bet you you're right. I bet you that's it. In which case, we should grab that immediately. Slayable offspring. That's really funny. I feel like they probably made it specifically... Who is this? Winking Skeet? Power of 3. Oh my god. Jeez. Brutal. Well, we'll download this. How about this? Do a quick test. Also, on a scale of 1 to 10, how broken is the Blood on the Ice quest? I would say it's as broken as it is in vanilla, which is pretty broken. We really don't make any changes to it. There's no kind of additions to that quest the same way that there are for some other quests. It's just a really broken quest. It seems to me like they wanted to do more with it and then had to scale it back. That's my guess. Just because that's how it is with a lot of different things in Skyrim and in game dev in general. Let's try this out. Unfortunately, I believe Immersive Children is a master. So we can do that, actually. Twitch ban incoming. Oh, yeah, probably. I guess you probably can't. Hey, Plot, what's up? Thanks for joining us. Plot has also been helping us test. What was I going to say? How about this? Let's check, I'll show you guys kind of like the new lighting setup first, and then we'll go check out. Let me just do this really fast. So, child. Immersive children, child mortality. Yes, alright. So I'm going to just back up my load order here. IMCH. If I do this, I'm going to... Yeah, okay. Makes sense. I know it's the little flag that it has. Well, that shouldn't be too hard. Maybe in real time I can show you guys how to... remove a master dependency. You've been a good dev to me. That means something. What is that from, Mad Villain? Also, thank you for 4 months. Yes, Cyrus. Very, very likely we're going to keep using Frostfall and Campfire because I love them. I don't know exactly. I think that there's some cool things about the survival mode, but if it's the standard CC survival mode that's been around forever, then yes, we are going to be using Frostfall and Campfire. Gotcha, Mad Villain. Lux is the best interior lighting, Mike. I would agree with you from what I've seen. I don't have it running yet, unfortunately. However, the ENB that we're using for Lux, I think, still looks amazing. So let's do this really fast, shall we? Let's hop in game. Keep in mind that the NPC improvements are not turned on right now. So my character is gonna... They look okay. They are improved by High Poly Head and some other kind of basics. Chaos Lord, what the hell? Yo! 10 additional gifted subs. That's like over 20 for this one stream. That is insane. Thank you so much. Y'all, showing up to these streams is a good way to get a sub. It seems like everybody ends up getting these subs by the end of it. Jeez, we're going to run out of people who don't have subs. Y'all, I really appreciate it. Chaos Lord, thank you so much. A round of applause. MF Doom, RIP. You get a sub, and you get a sub. Yeah, I do think that just having the High Poly Head only is pretty cool. I think that some of the... Yo, Gax Spackle, thank you for 10 gifted subs, y'all. Jeez. We legitimately are going to run out of people who don't have subs. Oh my god, I'm just so overwhelmed. You guys are going to make me tear up. Let's do a new game. Let me see here. Did we run out? I don't think so, right? I can see some people chatting. Yo, okay, this is getting insane, guys. I don't even know what to do about this. Chaos Lord. This is insane. This is too much. I'm so immensely humbled, and I don't even know how to show my appreciation beyond just... I'm really thankful. Thank you so much. Everyone else, mad thanks. Because this is really, frankly, insane. My god, yeah, no kidding. I do have it in there, Plot, but I'm gonna have to mess with it. You and I are gonna have to or if you don't mind, I'll have to chat with you, because for some reason I can't get it working. But, you know, I'm sure that we can figure it out. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, it's not being overwritten by anything. I don't know what's going. Thank you so much, Chaos Lord. I really appreciate it. Doing my best. Doing my best to do you all proud. is how I look at it, and myself. You know what I mean? I was can I describe kind of like a weird moment for you guys? When thank you for an additional gifted subcast, Lord. Zoriza, I would check the current website. Those recommended specs are still pretty pertinent, I would say. Maybe if you wanted to run it at higher resolutions, then you might want more than the recommended, but the minimum is still pretty pertinent, I would say. So here's a weird moment that I had. Let me start up finalizing. Yeah, that is insane. So some of you might remember, some of you might know that I would say the thing that I struggle most with from a development standpoint, even it kind of transcends into like a personal sphere, is just organization and scheduling and just kind of making sure that I can get things done both in a reasonable time frame and also like according to a deadline and like a target, right? And Monica, thank you for the gifted subs. Oh my God, Monica's another massive contributor, giver. How do I put this? It's just it's always been a real struggle. Thank you for the sub, Sylphane. For me to just get organized, and I'm really a perfectionist, ironically, too, so I get really upset at myself sometimes when I'm not able to kind of hit my internal deadlines or just whatever. So it was a whole cocktail of emotions, but when I released that release candidate to my team before I went on the trip, both getting it done in time and then just having, for the first time, a playable build of Ultimate Skyrim Special Edition that was, playable on a machine other than my own. It was a really overwhelming, moment, really overwhelming feeling. There is one of my favorite animes is Gurren Lagann, for any of you who are fellow weebs or have seen it. And there's a character in that show who says something that always kind of made me laugh. They're building like a rocket ship or something, and they need it ready, and they only have, a super tiny window. Yeah, row, fight the power. See you later, plot. This character gets this rocket ship ready, like right at the perfect time, right when they need it. And he says something to the effect of like, getting it done on time is all part of being an adult, or like for adults, getting it done on time is all part of the job, something like that. And it always just made me laugh because, it's an oversimplification. Sometimes, things are not going to go your way, and sometimes deadlines come and go and you just can't do anything about it. However, just being able to get it done and meet this deadline at the very least was like a really special moment for me. It just felt like it's one of the first times when a really major deadline, I was just like able to kind of, get it, keep it, you know what I mean? And that felt really good. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, here's our character, our wonderful Nord-S. You guys want to help me name the character? We probably... Oh, so I'm having some CTDs, eh? Huh. Oh yeah, here. I'll end here is what we'll do. Let me get rid of... CP Max, thank you for 5 gifted subs, y'all. Thank you so much. It's crazy to me because a lot of you who gift all these subs, you're also patrons. So it's like a crazy additional gift. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's get that Skyrim audio in here, huh? Subathon 2021. Cisco, do you happen to know where the crash was, and by chance was it around Dragon Bridge? Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I don't know how you've managed to not do that. You should. No one should be a patron unless you would like to. I just have noticed that trend for sure. Huh. I think that's the only repeatable crash we've managed to find thus far. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Definitely. Excuse me. Definitely. My God, Chaos Lord. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say beyond just I'm so thankful. Sylvia. How about this? We'll make a couple of... Oh, the bandits. That's another one. Okay, that's probably it, but we probably fixed that one. Okay, maybe it was that. Was he... Cisco, do you remember if he was playing as a mage with lightning? Chaos. Yeah, you are going nuts. How about this? I'm Sylvia, and then Chaos. If you want to help me name this character, give me a surname. So, no spinning death should be in there. Gak, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Y'all are crazy today. I mean, you're usually crazy, and this is even crazier. Like, beyond it. Nordsensen. Tempest. Sylvia Tempest. How about that? This one has to go to Chaos Lord. Oh, we got... Okay. How about this? Gwyneth Tempest. There you go. There she is. Everyone's favorite Nord. Pretty cool. Pretty good, Tron. It's been a crazy subathon. He's playing heavy armor with magic. Okay, that makes sense. If he was using any sort of... Well, okay. Was he fighting bandits as well? Because we have been able to reproduce a crash that has something to do with either an attempt at the spinning death animation, which is weird because that shouldn't be in there. I haven't been able to see that. Myself, I haven't been able to repeat it. But we were having some issues with the... Okay. If it's a lightning mage, then I bet you that it's the same bug, in which case I believe, have fixed that. It'll take getting the second release candidate out and then testing it to make sure. But those are the two crashes. There was one around Dragon Bridge, probably to do with our boy Istar Cairnbreaker. And the second one was lightning effects, which probably was manifesting with the bandits, because bandits often have... staves of like magic and lightning and stuff like that. So that's my guess. We don't know for certain. What do I feel like being? Excuse me. Yeah, scrolls as well. Ishtar crash. Oh, that's pretty good, Lizzie. That's a good one. Yeah, Cisco. I can't believe you managed to do that. Acrobat. You guys want to be an acrobat? Lockpicking, marksman, one-handed, pickpocket, sneak, speechcraft. Let's do it. That is interesting, Jay. Well, Crashed Allen 2. That also makes sense because the Thalmor definitely use lightning spells. I've seen them do it. That also should be fixed. Yeah, well, it should make you an Uber Patreon. It would be like... I wish that there was a way to, like... I looked into this too. I was looking for like integrations between like Patreon and Twitch. At least a way to show who the patrons are like on Twitch, but I've not been able to find anything. Tor, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Yo, oh my gosh, and Cisco manages to dodge it again. This is actually becoming a meme at this point. He's unsubbable. Y'all, thank you so much. We are actually going to run out of people. Yeah, I know. He's like the target at this point. People gifting subs. Everyone trying to give it to Cisco. There it is! Oh, last one. Chaos Lord. My God, this is insane that you're gifting all these subs, but you got them. Leave it to Chaos Lord. My God. My God. Y'all are just nuts. All right, what's our... here, check this out. I added a random option for a birth sign. So unless anyone has a particularly great suggestion, we can go random. Oh, thank you so much, Monica. Oh, and the 3 months. Y'all. You please. Yes. I don't... I feel really bad. Please don't feel obligated by any means. Alright, random birth sign. Let's see what it is. Whoa, that is awesome, Tor. I always love hearing about that kind of thing. I wish that we had, I wish that we had a better way of collecting, like, metrics of that sort. Like, how long are people playing? Where are they bouncing off if they stop playing? The periods of times that they don't play, like, how long is it in between? I wish we had a way to track stuff like that. I don't know if we do. Well, thank you very much, Chaos Lord. Yeah, pumpkin cake is another very acrobatic dodge. Oh, that's fixed. Just wildy. I always mispronounce that. I'm sorry. Starting with no spells is not intentional, and it is fixed now. In fact, here, you're talking about when you make a custom class, I believe. I guess we're kind of beyond that point, but I promise you, if you make a custom class, then you won't have that problem anymore. You'll get to choose some spells at the beginning. Acrobat who's on her way to perform the circus for the High King's Solitude when her plans go awry when he's killed by Ulfric. I love that, Mulna. That's really good. I'm going to go... I like this start, this wild start in Riften, because it shows off the lighting really nicely. In my humble opinion. I need to make the water a bit less blue, I noticed, since starting with this new E&B configuration. It's very... it makes the water very blue. The water's already blue because of the specific water for E&B. Oh, it's raining. Well, you can see the rain weather. The difficulty setting. Have you guys not seen that yet? I can't remember. I added that in too. The difficulty setting is basically how much damage you take, right? So here's your beautiful rain. I'm sure that the Twitch compression just makes it wonderful. Yeah, Just Wildy, you're probably going to be the premier streamer, my friend. Thank you very much for all of the content and coverage. For those of you who don't know, Just Wildy is I mean, I'm not just Ultimate Skyrim streamer by any means, I don't think, but he definitely streams a lot of Ultimate Skyrim, so definitely give him a sub, give him a follow. Here's what I'm going to do. BAT, let's check in good weather. So here's your general kind of lighting setup. This weather is like really golden hour-y, you might say. So it's like, you know, it's almost like heavenly in terms of like the colors, I would say. Mostly just YouTube. Gotcha. I feel you. What can we go ahead and do? I mean, this, I guess, is primarily what I wanted to show off. I can show off a few different areas that I always think are really picturesque. Here's a little tweak that I made this morning. You guys know Bears of the North. I love the... Oh, that should be... Well, it's probably still going to be there at least a little bit, Lizzie. But Cathedral Weathers, or Rudy Cathedral Weathers, has been updated. The version of Cathedral Weathers has been updated a bit to mesh, hopefully a little bit better, to be a little bit less lame. Do I know if the custom HUD? We don't know that yet, Leap Day. That is something that we need to test. Unfortunately, I don't think that any of our testers currently have ultra-wide screens, but I am going to... Here, I'll hold still. How about this? You guys want to get a thumbnail in here? Plot has an ultra-wide? Oh, well then, if it didn't work, he probably would have reported it, right? In which case, maybe it's safe to assume that it is working. Look, here's our thumbnail. Also, the meshes for the characters are not final. Those are going to be changed. I'm trying to keep it really still so that the compression doesn't fuck with it. But, really, there's only so much you can do, I suppose. Also, I'm going to make camera mode a little bit... I would like to make camera mode not just real time, because you can see that the game is still running, like the game world. I would like to make it so that it freezes, and I think I'll be able to do that now. Anyway. Oh yeah, Bears in the North. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Bears in the North, yeah, that's kind of like the workaround, Monica, I think. It's a really cool mod. It makes bears look really, really amazing and fuzzy and scary and huge. It does have one, in my opinion, thank you for 3 months, Sergeant Muffington. My gosh. One thing about it that I kind of always felt is that the brown bears, they're a bit too light. They almost look chocolatey. So I decided to edit them a bit. Let me see, help bear for NPC. Oh, not that many NPCs with bear. Okay, well, I just saw it. Player.playset me. Check out these bears. I think I should probably put on God mode, and we'll do... I'll hold off on BAT Super. Oh my gosh. Hey, wait, what the heck? That's not my texture. Okay, here's the chocolate texture. Oh, I've contracted bone break fever. Great. Well, imagine that, but a little bit less chocolatey. That's kind of weird. I wonder if... Unless this is just like even less chocolatey than before. But I don't think so. They're very scary. Yes, it's very cool. Whoa. Yeah, tell me that's not like when you watch these bears that go up on their hind leg. Ouch. They are spooky. Wait a second. Maybe this is like the cave bear. Or maybe I edited the cave bear? Let's see. Let's try one of these random ones. A lot of the time, these end up not actually being... Yes, that ended up being a spider. It says bear, but you know, sometimes it's just not a bear. Bear. Place at me. Let's get a bear fight going here, maybe. A, B. You guys fight each other? Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. So this is the one, that's my retexture. So who are you, my friend? And this one's like a little smaller, too. Maybe it's the king bear? That's a really big bear. Yeah, so this is my retexture. Which I thought looks a little bit... It honestly could even be like a little darker. But, I thought the saturation fit. I need stamina. Fine. No, I don't want to make... How about this? Yo, Chaos Lord, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Pumpkin could not escape. Let's see here. Restore... Yeah, I almost get the impression that this bear was not as strong. Maybe this is not like a bear. This is like the template bear that wouldn't spawn into the world. It's hard to say a lot of the time. Here we go. Restore app. Stamina by 10,000. I got my stamina back. Stop trying to kill me. Okay, just keep in mind, I'd be dead a bajillion times here. I'm no match for this bear, that's for certain. It's just like, I'm just like Leo. I'm gonna kill this bear. Yeah, so that's like what they look like instead. And they get all bloody. Yeah, when they stand on their rears, it's nuts. Bethesda's animation is like actually pretty solid, in my opinion, there. Because that is their animation. They have this like really nice, like fuzzy. Thanks, Olivier. I see display too. It's included. You can play the game any ultra wide. It's just the UI that requires patching. A couple mods for it already. Interesting leak day. I am curious. Oh, also there's no Dindulod. That's another important thing to note about what you're seeing here. But you can see how is our situation here. So I'm running at about 55 FPS. I'm streaming in 1440p. This area is usually about 75 to 80 for me. Did the skinning texture mod get left behind? That would be hunting in Skyrim pumpkin cake, which I would really like to include just the skinning models, but there's a lot else that's going on with that mod, right? And I know that the author's working on kind of like a more standalone, kind of stripped down version, and that's basically what I'm waiting for. What else can we do? Look at these little aspen trees. What are these? I was gonna say. It's like a little thicket of aspens, baby aspens. Oh yeah, hand lantern. That would be, I mean, you would want to scale it back, potentially, depending on what performance target you're going for. Hey Tayson, how you doing? No, this is not on a 1080. This is on a 3080. This is like, my computer right now is kind of as gnarly as it gets. The indoor lighting is still relighting Skyrim. Oh yeah, it's real nice. Eventually, it's very likely going to be Lux. I just don't really have the time. It's kind of outside the scope of our first build. Let's go ahead and check the interiors though, just so we can, you know. How about my favorite, Moorside Inn?
Finally, someone comes in.
Yeah,
Kick off
this
your
is,
boots, stay a while. Let me know
if you
there's
bump
anything
it,
I can
sure, and then
I
you
got
can
nothing but
also,
time.
if you want to, you can lower the performance, like in general. You see how my hood like clips through? It's because I'm using the, I was testing out like a subtle version of racial body morphs, but I think I'm gonna roll
You
it
don't
back.
look so good. Are you feeling all right?
Lady, you're covered
Until
in
next
dirt.
time.
You gotta take a bath. Oh yeah, I have bone break fever. That's right. Bummer. Yeah, it's very reverby.
Welcome to the Moorside. If you need
Oh,
anything,
here, I wanted to check
I'll
something
be
else,
around.
too.
Good to have a customer. There ain't much to offer, but if you want a place dry to spend the night, I'll
If
rent
is he
you a
gonna
room.
flip back around at me? No? What?
Until next time.
I thought I just changed that. Hold on just a moment. Oh, guess not. So I've been experimenting. You see this weird kind of thing that's happening,
Running
right?
an
So how it
inward
like
plan.
zooms in and
But
zooms
Fallen
back out.
decided to move here, so
Right?
I joined him. Good day.
That, as far as I can tell, seems to be caused by not having the alternate conversation camera do the whole like swapping back and forth thing, like with The Witcher. If any of you guys have played The Witcher 3, like, or even 2, I guess, or even 1. The way that it kind of, you know, like when you're gonna say something, then it swaps to your character. Turning that on seems to fix that issue. It's one of the things I've been experimenting with this morning. Also, let me turn on my controller. I like moving around with the controller. Yeah, so this is the interior lighting for now. It will eventually be different, though. What is your hardware again, Lizzie? Ooh, fog. Whiterun for me now is like really smooth, but I recognize that people are not going to be getting my performance in general. No. Input mapper. That's what I'm looking for. And what resolution are you running in as well? Yeah. Oh, I kind of like having the character in the dialogues. Like, it's pretty good. It just takes some getting used to, for sure. Let's get some good weather. I mean, this is pretty atmospheric, I'd say. What's going on over here?
What's the Jarl going to do about it? How are we supposed to feel safe in our own homes?
Please, enough already. I have told Ygritte of your concerns. She'll look after you all. Please, go about your business.
We've no need for wizards in our midst. Morthal has enough problems as it is.
It's no use. Let's get
Yeah,
back to it.
it really does, Tayson. That's another thing. I was actually just looking at a lot of the city overhauls last night for fun, but expanding the locations is something that I'm really excited to do eventually. Let me turn off my HUD there. I'm trying to see if I can. Have you guys noticed how like it's very like sensitive, like the 360-degree movement, right, to the point where I can see almost like a jittering almost with my character. That's something I was hoping to kind of fix. Let me see if I can get BAT good weather. These are like little batch files I've written. So you can see here the water is like very blue. It does look nice. And it's not, I mean, that's mostly kind of the sky that we're getting there, but it is a bit blue. Okay, gotcha. So you are playing in 1440p then, Lizzie. How's the initial testing gone? Not Zarnal, it's actually been really solid. Lizzie can tell you more, but we found a lot of really tiny bugs. We've only found like a couple repeatable crashes. One of them I haven't managed to repeat myself, so that one's going to kind of take some finagling. But the other one, I believe we've fixed, and we can kind of test that actually right now if we go and maybe fight some bandits. But I was testing it myself earlier, and it was pretty decent. Gotcha, Lizzie. Is that what was that? Oh, it's a mud crab. Excuse me. Yeah, hopefully this looks okay with the compression. I really wish that we had better upload here. It's kind of like my big goal in the future is to have like a better upload speed, but you guys know how it is with cable companies. Yes, totally Tayson. Or just like mashing up a bunch of them together is kind of like my end goal. It's just obviously it all takes like a lot of time. No, please. There you go. Here's some very blue water. Yes, the vignette is in, or it's from the, I was about to be, is in the corners. It is from the E&B. It's something I'm not really sure how I feel about, to be honest with you. I had it turned off before. Oh, really? Do you guys like it? Oh, I'm so glad. I worked so hard on this fucking camera. I hope that it's been fun. It feels a lot more natural to me. It feels a lot more like a, here, if I zoom out a little bit, let's go like, it's a bit more, what's it called? Breath of the Wildy, which is like, you know, nothing's going to match that level of polish, especially not Skyrim, but it's, to me, it's like way better. It's kind of fun now to like run around and do stuff, you know what I mean? I like it anyway. Oh my god, Tor. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Tayson, Solitude is like, it's one of those ones. Like, it's going to be, that one and Whiterun are probably going to be the biggest, like, at the end of the day. Don't like what it does to horses. Oh yeah, you're talking about the first person camera? Lizzie? We should test to see if that's fixed now. Or that if you can't go in a first person. Riding horses is like way better. This is also an annoying bug. This one I spent like all morning trying to fix. It's a very interesting one. You guys see the string pop into like the top left? Let me go here. EMB. Is it pre-pass or post-pass? I think post-pass. Yeah, it's post-pass. Vibrance, vignette, turn off. I think the vignette's kind of cool. It's just like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Obligatory F lobbyists. I hear you there. Let's get that on out of there. And our wonderful... Oh, Jay, are you around still by any chance? Because if you are, I can show you the very, very useful tools for using the console to tag things. If not, I can just revisit it. Little rabbit. Riding horses is like so much better with a 360-degree movement, in my opinion. Also, oh my god, with analog controls as well. I like to have my controller kind of alongside my heckin'. Oh shit! I just get poisoned. Ah, fucking choruses. It's like so much more maneuverable, honestly. God dang, you guys are gonna kill my spawned horse. Jump, horse. Nice. Yeah, great. Let's see. So now, check it out, Lizzie. You can't go first person anymore. So this is unfortunate. I really wish it weren't like this. Oh my god. Can everyone fuck off, please? Oh! That's no good. Who did that? You did that? As you can see, you have a lot more motor control. Oh, that's a thrall one. Whoa, you can't get me. You shot where I was, and you should have shot where I was going to be. Oh, wow, she's pretty good. That mage armor. Where are you at, this lady? Is that you? It is you. Are you out of Magica? You are. Oh, I missed. Muriel Benique. Oi! No, you're pathetic. She might run. She's pretty brave. So, here's the thing about first-person horses. Oh, I missed. It's one of my favorite features. It's basically the reason that I bothered to have a first-person camera at all. There we go. Okay. Yep. Thralls. That was a pretty powerful wizard. It really sucks that we can't have it. However, the reason for that at the moment is that the true directional movement controls, when combined with immersive first person, or sorry, improved camera, for some reason, and I've not been able to figure this out. I've even tested it with immersive first person view, and the problem persists. Basically, there's this weird jump It's like something about when the horse moves too far left or too far right, your first-person camera is just janked over to whatever side you're moving to, right? Oh, where is the main? I don't know. That's weird. That's a bug. Lizzie, you want to log a bug report right now? Where's the main? A? B? What was it saying? Oh yeah, it's like super janky, and what it'll do. This is a fjord horse. It might be something that I've changed. Oh, I think I know what it might be. Well, either way, it's log a report for it, and then I can probably figure it out. That way, it'll remind me. That's the beauty of issues, right? But yeah, so the first-person horse camera, unfortunately, is like really wonky. I almost left it in just because, you know, if you're kind of like not doing anything in particular, like it's still fine-ish. It's not super annoying. It'll just kind of like, it's like you'll be in first person and it'll just like jank you 90 degrees to one side. But when you're in a combat scenario and you're trying to do it in first person, it's basically a nightmare. And we kind of opted for like polish over edge case functionality, right? It's something that I've marked it as currently unsolvable. Maybe I've spoken to the True Directional Movement creator before, Urshan, who's just so fucking cool. And he or she seems very amenable to like little fixes like that, so they might be even willing to take a look at it. Maybe one day soon we'll get our first-person horseback riding back. What was that over there? I seen something. What was the bug that I was gonna... Oh, we were gonna get rid of immersive children. That's right. Oh, look.
Father was a legionnaire. His before him. Guess I never considered doing anything else. I'm sick of it.
We're gonna swap it out
When are we
for
going
what
to see some
Charmbarian
action?
suggested. Do you
It's
think at
not
some
that
point leave this
bad.
whole... Yes. Yeah, how should I pronounce your name? Xoriza. Are they all missing names? That's a good question, Lizzie. It looks like it. These are... You know what I think is happening? Is, I can't tell if these are like the retexture. If these are the immersive horses retextures, then... Yeah, and they're missing like their... Whoa.
I'm still sore right to
Like tail. I think I know what's happening. I think I can fix this very easily. Yeah, what the heck is going on there? That's about the most terrifying thing that I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, it's something that I was changing today because I unpacked like an immersive horses thingy. It's that is horrendous. Those are hooves. Look at that. Fantastic. I'll need to take a look at that. Is it a lock texture? Was it? I see eyes, I see hooves. I think it's from a horse. Yeah, that is like, it's kind of giving me, making me sick, to be honest with you. It's like a really weird feeling. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, Xoriza. Something that I've thought about a lot, I think all the time about making my own game. What I would need...
join up with the Legion?
Yeah, well, it's probably the same thing. Lizzie, you know that chest that you reported that had like the weird thingy? The weird texture on top. It's always like a mismatch between like a normal and like a regular texture. It's really easy to fix, typically. So I think about making my own game all the time.
How'd you end up
It's basically my dream. It's something that is not currently financially viable for me yet. So what I am hoping to do is grow Ultimate Skyrim to a point where the income it provides could kind of passively fuel my ability to start, at the very least, making my own game. what I would probably do then is start slowly siphoning time. There's still so much that I want to do with Ultimate Skyrim that I think will help it get to that point, right? So probably what I will do, and what I mean by financially viable is just the Patreon income, right? And YouTube, Twitch income. That's actually something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Quit your belly aching.
Yes. Wait, no. The one that looked like blood. Thank you so much for 10 gifted subs. Gaxbackle, I see what you mean about financially, what's it called? Possible. Thank you so much. Y'all are really just going absolutely nuts on the subs, and I really appreciate it. It's always funny to listen to them have these same conversations over and over. Yo, Chaos Lord, my God, guys. Like, I don't... Thank you so much. I really, it's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself. It feels, I have a really hard time with, this is kind of like a compliment, right? Are you guys like the kind of people who have a hard time with compliments? Because I'm the kind of person who has a hard time with compliments. And this is about the best compliment I could possibly imagine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so my eventual plan is to kind of, once I'm hopefully making enough with Ultimate Skyrim or my kind of various endeavors. I also have some side hustles I think I've mentioned in the past that like I'm just kind of starting, and stuff that I'm going to be doing very soon, like in my just completely other sectors. If I get to a point where I'm kind of making enough passive income to where I don't have to focus on Ultimate Skyrim like 100% of the time, then what? Then I will probably, start kind of phasing out, right? Let me switch back to mouse and keyboard. I will start phasing out my dev time on Ultimate Skyrim and focusing on this like secondary game. The question is, what would the game be? That's like something I think about all the time as well, because I don't know if my first game project should, like, what I would eventually want to make is obviously like Ultimate Skyrim, right? But like its own standalone game, its own standalone universe, you know, probably a big 3D open world to explore and roleplay in, like that kind of thing. It would be, you know, the reason that Elder Scrolls appealed to me to begin with is because it's very much like in the vein of like the sort of game that I would want to make, right? Like, you know, it's just fascinating and I love it. No, fuck you. This is a tough bandit. Oh, you're a thrall. Is that why? What's up with your eyes? Or either that or he's blind. Fine, you know what? He's tough. Hi, he's fast. Yes, so a massive game like that would need to be a pretty big team, and like what you're saying, Tor, start small with your first game. So basically, I don't want my first game to be something on that scale. There's just no way. Like, I think that putting this together has been great for both my game dev skills and also my skills managing a small team. But our team is, they're volunteers, you know what I mean? Like, they're not my employees. They're people who just kind of, out of the kindness of their heart and their own interest, take time out of their day to work on Ultimate Skyrim. So it's different than, you know, managing, I think, a team where, you know, you guys are like actually a dev studio together. So there's that. There's also just the scale of it is so different. And I think that, you know, as much as I do believe that with Ultimate Skyrim, you know, I do original development, both that enhances and also just adds like brand new things to the experience, it's a completely different feeling or experience building a game from scratch, right? And that's not something I've done before. So I just want to be realistic about the scale. What I'm really thinking, the more I think about it, is I would like my first game to be almost like a... what I'm most interested in is like pushing the boundaries of like role-playing and like dynamic interactions between characters, right? So I've always been fascinated by the concept of a big open world where you have characters that, almost like in the same vein as The Sims or something like that, have their own goals, have their own likes and dislikes, and just kind of systems dictating, almost like a Dwarf Fortress or a Rim World, where you have all these systems in place, mechanical gameplay systems that determine how these characters behave and what they choose to do on like a day-to-day basis. So something I've been thinking about a lot is creating a game that would be more akin in scale to something like a Stardew Valley, maybe like a pseudo like kind of RPG game, but one that takes place in a much smaller area where instead of having to build out a whole world, I can focus on really building out a detailed like singular location, right? And maybe kind of playing with those ideas, kind of the merging of like an ultimate Skyrim open world combat game with like The Sims and like Stardew Valley style, you know, mini scenario. I don't know. And yes, that is the thing, is that building Stardew Valley, the level of detail in Stardew Valley is so insane that it took Eric Barone basically 5 years to put it together. So even that, you could argue, is a even too big of a scale, right? Maybe it's more doable if I have like a team. Yes, it is like a whole ass thing. But oh, I know, Haunted Chocolatier. I follow Concerned Ape on Twitter. There's no way I'm gonna be able to kill this bad boy. Let's bring him into town so that he murders everybody. I was on Twitter when he tweeted that he was going to announce something in like, you know, X number of, what's up, Brad? Hours. Good luck. Thank you very much, Monica. Well, that's the other thing too, is that theoretically, if I did like, you know, if I managed to grow Ultimate Skyrim to a large enough point, there's a couple different benefits to that. One is obviously that probably more people will be willing to become like patrons and things of that nature. And that helps kind of create the passive time, or sorry, the passive income that I need to generate time for myself to mess with this stuff. The other thing that it might do is kind of become... Ugh, what's going on here? Is this ETAC? Landscape and water fixes. Something's going on there. Just get a screenshot. Also, it might give me more, like, notoriety, or kind of, you know, it'll just generate more buzz, and I'll end up with more people who kind of know about the project, right? Who then might be willing to, you know, fund something like a small Kickstarter. I don't know. There's a lot of different options you could take it, or different directions you could take it, rather, and all of it is kind of, you know, spitballing at this point. But, yes, totally, Tor. That's a good idea. Just making these kind of like little projects that will teach me stuff, you would say. I think you guys have the right of it. And this is actually something that my boy Adam and I talked about quite a lot on that trip. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to turn off my controller, but I'm going to run out of battery. We talked about, as you can imagine, when you're driving from Baltimore, Maryland to Palmdale, California, there is a lot of time. You have a lot of time to, what's it called? I'm assuming this is also landscape and water fixes. Oh no, ETAC. Interesting. You have a lot of time to really just talk about a bajillion things that anything you can come up with. And, you know, it's this all makes perfect sense to me, that these starting small is really like the sensible way to do it. That's awesome, Escalator. Also, King Carmakingdom. I'm in coding boot camp right now. That is super rad. Yeah, well, and that's one of the other things. So I've talked. So actually, time and space. It's funny you mentioned that, because I actually, like, during the early days of when Wayward Realms was announced, I applied for a position there that I think was way too high level, probably. But it did give me. Whoa, what did I do? It did give me a reason to get my resume updated. Thank you so much for the gifted subs, Monica. 3 months, time and space. Thank you. Yeah, well, so that's how it kind of turned out to be a little bit Ragavar. It's really hard to say. I know that Ian Indigo Gaming wrote his like article, and you know, it's an unfortunate kind of circumstance. And you know, I really like Indigo Gaming a lot. Oh, seems like I can go way further to that side than I can to this side. Huh. I'll figure that out. Actually, here, let's do this. Smooth cam. I can never remember which side dictates, like, left or right. We're following. X clamp. X max. Is it? It's got to be this one. No. Let's try 50. See if it feels like less. Yeah, that's like a little bit less. Okay, cool. I don't really know what's going on with Once Lost Games. I have a lot of respect for everyone who's involved there. That includes Indigo Gaming. And, I hope for the best. I really don't know. I do think that the scale of what they're trying to do is really intense. So, it's not going to be easy. It's... it's very possible. It does seem potentially unreasonable. I wish these snow polygons were a little different, but what are you going to do? Oh my god. Do you guys hear the heartbeats? But in general, I really like the concept of what they're trying to do. It's kind of like my perfect role-playing, open-world role-playing game is kind of a marriage of, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Skyrim, different elements of these games with other games thrown in. Your Rim Worlds, your Dwarf Fortress, your, The Sims is a weird one that's in there for me really heavily. Stardew Valley. I have all these games that kind of, when I think about, it's all about creating just a world, right? Even Ultimate Skyrim, I have so many plans beyond this initial release for just adding more stuff to the game world that just makes it feel alive and just makes it feel like it's always evolving. I want your character to be evolving in that, the world is always presenting you with new interesting things to kind of grow your character and challenge you and encourage evolution and change in your character, right? I want the world itself to be evolving in the sense that it both responds to the things you do and just kind of changes and grows irrespective of what you do. So I don't know. All those games have elements of that to me. Oh, Stalker's Wildlife System, 300%. Totally in there. Have I seen Octopath Traveler? I have. I've thought about that too, Engine Nerd. It's actually something we talked about as well on that trip, is how do you, because obviously art assets are just a huge time sink. How do you create art assets that both serve kind of the vision of a smaller project like this and also, ideally don't take up tons and tons of time? So something more, good pixel art, it does take time. Any art takes time to put together to make it good. But it's basically a question of what sort of, style would serve. And I have seen those games. But yes, emergent gameplay instead of scripting everything. It's very tricky, right? It's you have, I almost wonder sometimes, I think about this kind of stuff all the time. Because I do plan on making, Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead, that's another big influence for me. I think about how, what are the pros and cons of each of these approaches, right? The Long Dark, there's another one. How do we implement them? Do we use elements of both? Because if you have an emergent, purely emergent game, right, where it's entirely based on systems, no scripting at all, I think it can start to, the cracks can start to show. If you talk about emergent dialogue, you're going to have repeat dialogue at some point, right? Or if you're not very careful with writing out specific scripted scenarios, something tells me, I don't know, it's just an interesting balance. No Man's Sky is another game I really want to play. Community development would be a great way to go about it, depending. But community development, every approach has pros and cons, right? So you have community development, which is something that Chucklefish has done that has gotten them in some hot water, at least to my understanding, just because maybe some of the payment structure was not super clear, or you got to be very careful when you do that sort of thing to, I think, define clear expectations. I don't know. It's there's just a lot of really exciting possibilities, I guess you would say. And, what I'm trying to focus on first and foremost, I'm very much a pie in the sky kind of person. I think this is why I have so much trouble with organization to begin with. I love thinking about these big concepts. I love thinking about the larger picture and, these grand future plans and all those kinds of things. But that leaves me kind of lacking somewhat in the detail execution element, and I've been trying to get a bit better at that. So for right now, what I am trying to keep myself focused on, and this is somewhere where like my wife is very helpful because she's basically like not the antithesis, like she can very much like think big picture and that kind of thing, but she's very like gets things done and like keeps things realistically scaled and scoped and kind of that type of worker, right? Whereas like I'm very much not that way, and I've just been trying to focus on like keeping the immediate goals and needs in mind. Like maybe sometimes I can play around with those larger scale ideas, but in the interim, I'm just trying to focus my attention and my energy on this project, right? Like Ultimate Skyrim, getting this build out, how it's going to progress beyond that point, getting everything ready for that. And that's kind of where my head is at. Yes, I think that's a great way of putting it. Time and space. Ice Wolf, where have you gone? Notice that the health bars still appear even when I turn off the HUD. That is like a bug with true directional movement. Yeah, you can see that I'm cheating, Tor. Because I'm not wearing hardly anything. And, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm just running around in this frozen glacial nightmare scenario. And I'm just A-okay getting mauled by wolves. Who even cares? At this point, let's do this then. BAT super. That way I don't have to worry about my stamina anymore. Ooh. Spooky. What was I gonna say? Something about Mary. Thank you, Time and Space. I mean, that's really kind of the goal, right? I do love... look, it's Old Orc. I do love the Elder Scrolls, and that's probably a big part of why I kind of chose Skyrim to attempt something like this, or why it interested me so much in the first place. But it really is just like this beautiful platform that allows us to kind of, you know, suss out our own role-playing game. Like, it's kind of my attempt to create my ideal role-playing game, right? In the context of Skyrim. It's like a framework. Framework is a really good way to put it. Uh-oh. Oh, that wolf's gonna die. Oh, now it's running away. I wonder if I need to, like, turn down the wolf's speed. Like, I'm wondering if Requiem maybe makes them faster. Oh, wolf Horker fight! Oh, there goes the wolf. He hurt himself really bad on that fall. I feel like I need to turn down the speed because those wolves just fly off the ridges. And I can't remember if they do that in vanilla. Maybe some of you guys... Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you guys. Gotcha, Monica. Well, I hope to... I hope not to disappoint when you get Special Edition. Ooh. Spooky. So, what I kind of am thinking about, another big question here is, like, once the game is released, once you guys have it in your hands, I would love to continue, or I guess just continue, my Let's Play series, or, like, I'd probably be streaming them at this point. But just, you know, continuing to produce content, because I do like doing that as well. It's a question of how much time can I spend on doing that, and it's like, I don't know, I'm like, should I push for partner? I'm kind of confused about partner, because I know that you need like 25 hours in a month, right? And you need 12 different days streamed. This is kind of like the baseline, like most basic requirements that they give you. That's no Dindulat either. That actually doesn't look bad. I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like I could hit I think that the average viewership I have, and so I think it's possible if we made a push for partner, and I like, okay, maybe some of you guys know this. Is it possible to, thank you for that. I really tried with season 2. Yeah, so that would be approximately 3 days a week, at least for the push to partner. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like once you make partner, you might be able to scale it down a bit, because I feel like there are some streamers that I follow who have made partner who, by my estimation, are no longer meeting that threshold. But, you know, they seem to have their partner status still intact. Ow, stop giving me diseases. Stop. Get out of here. Go on, get. I know that, yeah, the application process is far more, you know, individual than that, right? So I know that those are not like the criteria that just require you to do it. You do not need to uphold any viewership hour requirements to remain a partner. Okay. So it's like, I guess it would be like this. If we can make a push for partner where like everyone shows up, you know, we've got a bajillion hours logged, everything you need to at least like enter the process. If I could then become partner, I think like, you know, streaming, that would approximately be like 2.5 hours a day for like 3 days a week to hit that, if you do the math. That's crazy, Great Padinsky. I did not know that. Well, that's really good to know. Thank you very much for that information. What I'm thinking is like, okay, what if we pushed for partner, right? Like, what if I just picked a month, maybe post-release, call it like, you know, release month, I don't know, and just really push to get that partner status, and once we got the status, maybe scale it back a little bit so that I would still be able to stream and be able to produce content, because content is also advantageous for me. It's both marketing and, you know, all the content that I upload to YouTube has ad revenue and gives you guys content to watch. So there's definitely pros to the entire thing. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like something that I've really considered, and I think that just having that additional revenue split with Twitch, like for partners, would be really cool. Yeah, Chaos Lord, I have no doubts at all. Yeah, I know some of you showed up for the Mass Effect stream. That was really fun. I don't know how much I'd be able to kind of pull, you know. Oh my god, Saber Cat. No thank you. I bet you he'll die though, because they're too fast and then they fly off the hills. Oh, maybe not. Whoa. Ow. Partners don't get a higher revenue. Oh, really? Well, then what I guess would be like the major bonus for partner? Or the major like advantage if you still don't get the higher revenue split? Can you not? Kitty. Get out of here. Thank you, Moonlam. I would really, I've been dying to like sink my teeth into like another character, right? Look at them shitty LODs, baby. Quality options. Ah, I understand. It might be time and space. That's like the kind of, Twitch certainly cannot be the primary focus, which is why I'm like hesitant to even dedicate that much time to it. Well, I don't know. Maybe then it'll just come naturally over time. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm not really, this, I guess the kind of question is like, is this something that's worth doing? And I don't really have a clear answer. Get back here, Fox. Save me from this Saber Cat. Please. Yeah, I mean, I use these streams primarily just as a means of kind of communicating with you guys. That's like the main deal, right? And for that purpose, like, partner doesn't really matter all that much. And even, like, I used to produce a 30-minute episode, like 30 to 40-minute episode every 2 days. Was like the thing, and then for a while it was like every week. So if I say stream, like, already streaming 3 hours once a week would be more content than I used to be making. If you stream the hours, you'd probably be able to get it. You also leverage your position. Community, Discord size, Twitter, YouTube members. They take those into account too. Gotcha, Great Padinsky. Thank you very much. That's, well, so that's another thing that I've kind of thought about is like Twitch just kind of seems like the de facto streaming place to me. And I really like Twitch. There's a lot that I like about Twitch, at least the platform, like the technology itself. And I put all my VODs on YouTube anyway. But I have thought about potentially streaming on YouTube either in addition or instead. I know that YouTube, like, or when you become a partner, you're not supposed to do that. I think when you become an affiliate, you're not supposed to do it. But I would say that my primary audience was I don't know about now, but, you know, like, I had more subscribers on, on YouTube than I did on Twitch. Way more discoverability on Twitch. That I could see, but it's like, for me, discoverability, I'm not sure how much of a factor that is for me, because we kind of, like, the discoverability element, I think, comes from the mod pack itself. Like, people kind of find that through YouTube, as opposed to, like, you know, how you kind of have to, well, I don't know, I guess there would be there's still a discoverability element on Twitch if you consider that, like, sometimes people find me as I'm streaming on Twitch and, like, don't really know what the heck they're doing, or we're doing, and kind of learn about it that way. Stream your LP sessions without chat interactions, and whoa. What happened up there? What was that? Did a giant do something? Stream your LP sessions without chat interaction, upload the edited VODs to YouTube. I could do that. I mean, that's probably what I was going to do either way. I just was also going to keep chat in there. I don't know how distracted I would get, though. Oh my god, what has happened to you? What the? Whoa. There she goes. Yeah, maybe, Lizzie. Twitch discoverability is a dopamine trap for content creators. You're probably right. Yeah, editing VODs takes a lot of time. I probably was not going to edit them. Sorry, I should be clear. I was going to just upload the unedited ones. Why are you guys all janked? The unedited ones to YouTube. Just the same way I basically used to for, you know, there's a vein of some kind of iron ore. For the Let's Plays, but I was going to keep the chat interaction. I just don't know if I have the attention span for it. Maybe I'd get better about it. I've definitely gotten better. I used to, like, repeat every single thing that was, like, asked of me in chat, and then that became unsustainable after a while. Gotcha, engineered. See, I don't know. There's too many possibilities. It's very overwhelming. And it's like, it's overwhelming in the, that's interesting. The sense that I really need to get Dindulot in here. You know, I'm kind of trying to focus on the development. There's a lot of different elements to juggle. There's the development of Ultimate Skyrim. There is managing the community. There is, you know, content creation. There's a lot of different kind of prongs to the, whoa. Look at you guys. Whoa. You can't just ask someone why they're janked. Yeah, you're probably right, but I don't know. If I got better at not being so clowny. Like, some people manage to do it well enough. Wow, I suck. Is it because I have bone break fever? Whoa. Help. Disease for elk. Whoa. That cure my diseases. Hey, no more bone break fever. Alright, let's kill these guys. Oh, it's bound arrows. I was like, is that a missing texture? Fuck you. Ah! You stare me down, skeleton. I really need to add something where I can attack in midair, too. Ooh. My iron sword. Oh, it's you. Oh, that's almost like Telford. This is, oh, hello. Imperial, what is it? It's, I can't remember. It's a Forts of Skyrim rebuild is like the shorthand for it. Imperial Stone. Stop it. Fucking me up.
Think you stand a chance?
Yeah. No, not really.
You know.
No. Now, you guys gonna despawn? Please? No? Oh, that's still another mage over there. Check it out. Naruto. Ho, 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 ho. Huh. Huh. Huh.
You cannot even conceive of the power I wield.
Nope. Definitely cannot. Oh, I think I... Oh. Ow. Stop. Boom. Yeah, it's a lot of the forts are a bit more intense now. The Naruto run mod. Munrod. Ooh. Just kind of like running around and chatting. I'm not doing anything particular in the stream. So yeah, it's a lot of shit to consider, y'all, and it's all kind of floating around in my head. And I'm like a disorganized person at the best of times. Also, I'm taking off my pants. This is a hot tub stream, but I'm wearing pajama pants and it's really hot. Wait, let's stand up for a bit, shall we? I might go and get myself some more water because my poor water bottle is downstairs. And look, I'm standing slowly along with the camera. Yeah, doing the hot tub streams. That'll be a good idea. You know something else we really wanted to do to not to boost viewership, but just as like a fun, cool thing. I can run this by you guys too. Like merch for the mod pack. I feel like there's really not a lot that I'd want to do, just because I think that focusing too much on that kind of stuff just kind of takes too much time away from other considerations, other stuff that's going on. And two, like, I don't know, like I don't want to get too merchandisey with it. It'd probably be something like a pin with like the logo. But one idea that we did have that I thought would be super cool would be making like trading cards of the like characters from the Let's Plays, right? Like imagine having like a cool ass like Ultimate Skyrim trading card with like Hilfred on it from Season 1. And it just had like I have like fan art that people have done that I've like purchased the commercial rights to. It's just kind of like, is this too much kind of thing? But I don't know. I thought it would be super cool. And like either sell them for like whoever or make them like patron bonuses, maybe give them out to the patrons for free. I don't know. But it's like when you start to dabble in this stuff, there's suddenly a lot more considerations you have to start thinking about, like just kind of IP stuff. I'm pretty sure if I like limited it to like, you know, a picture of like my own original character, it might be okay. But even that I'm not sure about, because like, you know, this is a character that exists in a universe that I didn't create myself. So I'm like, I don't even know if I have the rights to like do something like that. And I'm certainly not a lawyer. So any lawyers in chat, hit me with your best advice. Like, I don't know. Or like having like community members like submit their own characters. Maybe we could do like a you know, community series or something of that nature, right? There's just a lot of options. I just don't really, like I said, I don't know if that's something we could reasonably do. Yeah, this is the new WoW. This is my no, this is actually New World. Ooh, it looks like we're gonna get a nice sunset. Oh no, I'm getting cold. I need do I have an axe? Give me a woodcutter's axe. Help, woodcutters. Add item. 2F2 F4 1. Hell yeah. Blood elves and bikinis. A woodcutter's axe. Give me some wood. Nice, got some wood. Bit more, please. Just gonna make a quick fire. Quick little fire. There we go. I wish that I don't know. Part of me wants to go back to the old dynamic things because there's some benefits that it has over the current one. The current one is certainly better from an implementation standpoint, and really probably is what I should stick with. But I just miss being able to cut down trees like straight up, and I miss being able to assign ownership to some of the activatables. I might still be able to do that though. Let's see here. Build fire. Please use. Nope, I know how to do it. Can I have some kindling, please? Can I prepare the fire? Can I get some tinder? And can I add tinder? And can I light? Baby, light my fire. How does what's the line? People reference games all the time. Point Crow has Legend of Zelda merch references to channel. Interesting, Chaos Lord. I'm willing to bet you that like if Nintendo wanted to, they could. That's the line, Monica. Thank you. They could probably go after them for that. But you know, I don't know. I guess I just don't want to. Yeah, like I just want to know that I'm okay. You know what I mean? Before I go too nuts on it. Flickering campfire, please. I need some more wood. I need, what's the sit down button? Yo, thank you for 5 months, Prince Wolfchild. How you doing? Also, Monica, hopefully I shouted out your gift, time, and space. Yeah, they probably will not. The other thing that I'm just kind of worried about is like, so I want to add like an area to the game that is like, you know, thank you to like the patrons, the subs, or like whatever like that, right? I think I could probably get away with that, but because Ultimate Skyrim has had, let's say, a tumultuous history of monetization, sometimes I worry that like doing anything like that, like just any sort of like cute little merch or like pins or cards or whatever, might paint another target on my back. And to be honest, I'm just like really don't want to have to deal with that kind of thing. However, I maybe am overthinking it. I don't know. Maybe that's not something people would care about. Or even maybe if they did, it's like, well, this is something... If it's like my own characters and like kind of stuff that or like characters that the community kind of contributes for the purpose and like with the release of, you know, like having them be turned into trading cards or whatever, then I feel like it's okay. Certainly comparatively okay, right? I don't know. I don't know. I wish definition. It's really the real determinant or the real factor here for the real question is Anniversary Edition. How is that going to affect us? And unfortunately, that's also coming out 11/11, I believe. So you know, it's tricky. I think at the very least having like a pin or like stickers with like we've been working on some rebranding stuff, and I think that that would probably be fine, right? Like you'd really be hard pressed to put up a stink about that. But I don't know, maybe trading cards, is that too far beyond the pale? I don't know. Thank you, Plot. I think so too, and especially after we get all these bugs squared away. Yes. So I was like so happy, Plot, when you sent me that message, that first message where you were like, it's been a really, you know, great experience thus far or whatever when I was on the trip. I was just so happy because, you know, I really tried to get it pretty solid and like polish it up and just make it solid before I handed the RC off to the team. But I didn't, you know, they're going to be able to find stuff that I didn't find. So it was just like such a relief to hear that, you know, you were generally having a good time. I just thought that would be... So named NPCs in the game is exactly what the Gmod crowd came after me for before. One of the things they've come after me for. I had a tier... No one actually had done it, but I had a tier on Patreon where it was like, oh, I'll make like a, you know, a wandering NPC to your specifications, right? And there were like threads where it was like, oh, that's technically paid modding, which I suppose it is, in the same way that, you know, having like a room with like a plaque with all the patrons on it, I think unfortunately is also technically paid modding. But I don't think it's something that Bethesda or anyone else would get upset about, right? But unfortunately, there are people who will try to get this project kind of like taken down on like I don't know if I'd say technicalities, but stuff like that, right? Where it's not that I don't think I should do, it's not that I think I shouldn't do some of these things, it's just that I have to be a little careful, is all. It's just what I have learned at this point. It's just, well, it's, I mean, if I'm honest with you guys, a lot of the animosity, I think, from, we'll say, that certain crowd just stems from back when we first introduced our own auto installer and my plan then to monetize the project was to have my like configuration file for the auto installer like behind or on Patreon, right? So like the patrons got it. Everyone was like, this is, you know, quid pro quo modding. It's like you shouldn't be able to do this, even though, you know, or it's like it was one of those things where it doesn't really matter, at least to this crowd, which I understand. If the license permits it, it's just kind of like a thing that you shouldn't do. Which to a degree, like, I understand. Like, I think for a lot of people, the idea of any sort of commercialization of any kind anywhere near modern is just like anathema. And, you know, I understand that perspective. It is what it is. But it certainly, we'll say, left an impression on just not really a huge group of people, but some people, we'll say. And a lot of these same people were the people who were, you know, kind of interested in doing things like what I'm talking about here. It's possible, Albert. I do not know. I mean, well, there's also like little things like Ice Cream Assassin, the creator of Legacy of the Dragonborn, had like plaques for patrons. I think someone could try and get them on the same technicality if they really wanted to, but it's like, it's so, you know, it's like, who cares, right? Ow. Stop, mud crabs. I'm sorry, I'm like beating your child to death in front of you. I understand why you're angry. Yeah, well, it's not really, in my mind, Monica. The fact that Nexus, you know, requires premium for auto downloading, to me it's no different. The Nexus was not, you know, the people who were like necessarily putting up a big stink. I mean, they did end up being like, well, if you do that, then you can't have your files on our servers. And I was like, okay, but you know, what are you gonna do? Otherwise, I don't know. It's like, I think that they must have explicit permission from Bethesda, or I'm really not sure. Ooh. Thanks for hanging out, Praxis. Ah, that is really cool, Lizzie. Have I added any great custom followers? Not yet, but very likely kind of the classics I think are going to make it into the future version. So like, you know, your Inigos, your Lucians, peeps of that sort. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's just like all of it technically qualifies as like paid modding, I suppose. Because it's an exchange, right? It's like, oh, you spent X amount of money in order to have your character's name or whatever like included, or your name. So it's very gray. And I just know that unfortunately there are some people who would be, you know, not stoked. But then it's like a question of, okay, if that's the case, and look, if we're doing something like selling our auto thing, maybe there's more of an argument that it's like uncouth, perhaps. I think that if what the merchandise is like trading cards that are feature just my own original characters from like my Let's Play series, I think that's comparatively a lot more defensible. So it's kind of one of those things where like, even if someone did put up a stink, what's going on over there? Is it E&B Shadows or something? Maybe it's the, oh, you know what, I bet you I know what it is. Whoops. I think it's the lighting shader interacting with the EMB, or the snow shader rather. Gets around it by allowing anyone to use those names free of charge. Oh. They inspired from me TS class, made a new class system. Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, did I get inspired by your TS class sheets? Oh, I would say so. Time and space, or just the reintroduction of like Elder Scrolls Classics was, you know, like the inspiration for sure. I do remember the what's it called, the sheets that you made though. Those are super cool. Yeah, it's very dramatic. Again, it's like, I don't want to say that. How do I put this? Like, I get it for certain things, even if I don't necessarily agree. I just do think that probably, like, I just think these trading cards would be super cool. Monetize better starting equipment. There you go. Wow, that's like the most direct thing. Yeah, totally. I agree with that. 300% time and space. It just, I think, helps people, like, between the classes and the different starts. I just am really trying to encourage players to, like, you know, like, think about their characters like role-playing and just really encourage them to get into the mindset of this, like, fictional character in this fictional area. Yeah, it could be. I just think that with the cards, it's like, the reason I want to do the cards so badly is there's a few. One is that this is the sort of thing that I would actually buy because I'm an avid collector of a million different things. I think that's, like, kind of first and foremost, is like, I want to get excited about something that would appeal to me. What? Can I make that jump? Yes, I can. That's quite a jump. Jeez. Two is that I think we could do it really well because we have, it's something we've experimented with before. Tyler and I have been messing around with the idea of these cards for a long time, and he actually made some test cards for, like, some of his own art. We have kind of like a wholesaler that we know about now, and I think we could do it. So I don't know. It's just, can we do it without invoking the wrath? You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like probably the safest thing that I would challenge anyone to put up a stink about this is, like, let's say we come up with a logo for the mod pack. We have pins and stickers or, like, a shirt that has the logo on it. That's, like, that one I feel like is pretty safe. For some reason, I guess the copyright elements and maybe just the fact that, like, the cards are very obviously, like, a whole, like, it's easy to make pins comparatively. Making, like, whole trading cards requires a lot of effort. So I'm like, I don't know. That's tricky. The trading cards, we thought about making them into a game for sure. That would be preferable. It's just, like, tough because designing a whole game around around, I don't know, designing a card game is really difficult. It'd be really cool to do that, though. Ultimate Skyrim NFTs. We back when the NFT craze was, like, first happening and no one knew shit about them, and I saw all these artists making, like, hella money on it, I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then now, of course, like, NFTs are a lot more controversial. There's a lot of the part that for me personally is, like, the energy usage part. Frankly, I don't know shit about NFTs. Not nearly enough to, like, have an opinion one way or the other, but probably I'll forego anything of that sort. I would love to do that. I've been wanting to get a full-on card game, and I've never said this. I kind of want to try it, but I feel really bad. I feel so bad for Suvaris Atheron because she's literally being hassled by these asshole chuds. I just can't bring myself to do it. It's like when you try to do like a Renegade playthrough in Mass Effect and you just can't fucking do it. I'm just too sad. No, I don't hate your people.
Come to the wrong city then. Windhelm's a haven of prejudice and narrow thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, time and space. So I would love, and that's like the other thing about the cards, that was reason 3, sorry, I got ahead of myself, is that I know that there are so many cool-ass characters in the community that people have made, and I would just love to, like, also have them transformed into these, like, cards, right? She runs a pirate ring? What? I didn't even know that. Why would anyone think it should? There's so many quests that I have not done. Ooh. In Skyrim, it's ridiculous, frankly. That's right, drink up, you fucking racist asshole. What's going on in the Windhelm Marketplace at night? Girl needs income, good on her. I have not played Dominion. I can check it out, though. I do love a good board game, good card game. The Windhelm Market at night is so much quieter, so much more serene. Go back this way. Oh, that quest I think I know. Is that the one that goes to Japheth's Folly? I didn't know that she was involved in that. Oh, cool.
I hate
In before
asking
random
for
stabbing.
just a few septums.
Hey. Hey, Silda.
Spare a coin for a
Who's
poor old
woo
woman,
woo?
milady.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you.
I was also thinking about
Divines
taking these
bless your
teeth textures
kind heart.
and making them a little bit less white because
Come visit
the
again
high poly
sometime.
head plus expressive face gen morphs makes them very, very
Divine
white.
smile on those
It looks like
who
everyone just has like these great fucking teeth. And I'm like, I don't think she's necessarily supposed to be old. I think she's just supposed to be like haggard and like drug-addled.
Around here somewhere.
Miss Lady, I'm taking a picture of this. How many times have I complained about Elda standing too far back from the thing? Is her like idle marker over here or something?
This here's Candlehearth Hall. Great rooms upstairs, and there's a bed for rent on the ground
Did I
floor.
mention? Did I say already that the NPCs don't have any of their appearances edited? It's just the high poly heads. Oh, I wanted to check to see where the camera was at for Blackjack, because the team
course.
reported the camera being weird. Oh, shit. That's right. Fuck. I forgot that I have to turn off the head tracking. Oops. Dang it. Well, it's really broken now. Fuck. What was it? Oh, yeah. Here, let me just do this right now while I'm thinking about it. Unlock. Let's go. Actually, it'll be ultimate. I said ultimate Skyrim true directional movement, alternate conversation camera. Okay, so we got to do switch target on to get rid of that weird zoomy business, and then lock on 0. That should fix that up a little bit. You know, I think I'm going to leave the table because I can't see what cards I'm playing.
We've got warm food, warm
There she
drinks,
goes. See,
and
she
warm
has like a
beds.
sandbox idle marker that she goes up to. It's just like, why is she back there? Maybe I'll just like move whatever reference she's going to. This is also a problem that I don't really know what to do about. The cloaks tend to go like that. They don't have physics enabled. I don't want to enable physics cloaks on NPCs. That sounds like a performance nightmare. I wonder if there's like a way I could add a condition. Or you know what? What if I did this? What if I could somehow add whenever anyone goes to sit, maybe it equips something to your cloak slot. That's tricky. I don't know how that would work. Because then it might unequip their cloaks, and I don't know how it would go back on again, necessarily. Maybe it would be okay with cold region behavior. I'm not sure. I'm also not super sure how I feel about the tavern, like, sounds. Like, it sounds like just a bunch of people are talking. I think it's pretty cool, but it's definitely, like, you know, obvious that there's not that many people here, like, talking. I don't know. Ooh, whoa, this is weird. Go mod configuration. Smooth cam. Go sitting. I feel like this should be way down then. Like there? Perhaps? That's getting there. That's like pretty good. Maybe. Yeah, potentially, Rathuel. Smooth cam. Just a smidge more. Maybe 3 points. Sitting. Up offset. There we go. Let's go 32 just to be safe. I'm going to save this preset. There it is. Actually, now it's too low. Is it? It's probably fine. I think it's fine. I'm probably overthinking it. I have a tendency to overthink it when it comes to these things. Look, just to affect my mental well-being, we'll go like this. Smooth cam. Sitting. We go up 2 points. Is the side 28 for all the rest of these? Yeah, okay. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a huge priority actually. Time and space is become a bard. Should I show you guys? You want to see like a big list of the like unticketed mods that we still have? Here, let me do this. Let me sort A to Z. Some of these are in there. Like I should remove that one. Nah. So there's a lot of stuff. What does that become a bard? I guarantee that one's in here somewhere. Is it not? Oh shit. Well, maybe it's Bard's College Redux? Say Bard. Oh shit. Bard progression system. Bard's College Redux. Huh. Weird. Hold on a second. Sort. Wait, can I lock? How do I do this? You like lock it to. I know there's a way to do this where you can like lock a row, but I can't remember how. This is not my area of expertise. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys get the idea. Let me just make sure I add that in there. Say become a bard. Just to make sure, but there's basically just like, this is not even all, there's so many more mods than this that I have in like my old download pile. But you know, it's a lot to get through, and I'm trying not to scope creep. That's my rule, no more scope creep. So let's save it for future versions, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how it is. I don't use Excel super often, and I use Xedit all the time. Am I adding Sky? It's a maybe, mucho. They're there to kind of play with, right? View freeze. Thank you. Thank you very much. Say view freeze. It's right there. One row. Boom. And then if I do this... There it is. Perfect. We did it, everybody. Ooh. Escalator. Will do. Isn't a way to turn large amounts of coin into paper notes at the moment. There is not, Cyrus, but the currency in general is getting probably like a bit of an overhaul. I want to utilize like the banks from like Skyrim holds, and there's a lot of really interesting mods kind of in the currency space that I need to evaluate to kind of see exactly what my ideal implementation would be. We used to use exchange currency. I found that to be just like a bit weird and tedious, or like it didn't really make sense to me economically. It's a really great mod. I don't know, something about it. It was like not exactly what I was looking for. So just suffice to say that I will be looking intently at that area. I would kind of count that as like mechanics, and mechanics are going to be like my first focus, like in the next versions going forward, will be putting in all the mechanics that are missing as of now, and just kind of rounding out that gameplay platform. Once that platform is there, I'll be adding like content on top of it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'd say the scope creep rules worked. You can see all this stuff where I'm just like, it generally works, I should say. Sometimes I just can't seem to help myself, but other times it's tricky. I'm concerned with the logistical trouble, yes, of moving around 20k gold. So yes, there needs to be a currency system. It's also just insane that this like in-game there's like one denomination of currency. It's just like ridiculous. So yeah, I'll definitely do something about it for sure. Okay, so it's about like my neck there. Zoriza. Why can I not pronounce that? I think it's really your call. If it were me, I'd be waiting for what's it called? Special edition. But it's definitely gonna be you know, like, you can't go wrong. I guess just LE, it still has a bunch of setup you have to do. It kind of just depends on how badly you want to play, I suppose. So, I'm just gonna cut this in a little bit. And there we go. See, this is how you can even call that scope creep. This is kind of how, like, perfectionist I get sometimes. I apologize for wasting my time doing this. But the camera in particular, I'm, like, obsessed with. There's so many things where it's like, if you have a camera that feels good, people, like, don't even notice sometimes unless they're looking specifically for it. But if you have a camera that feels bad, you will certainly notice that. It's like sound design. The Libram has a currency conversion system, also uses caravans. Gotcha. I mean, exchange currency is really cool. I just feel like I've seen so much stuff. I haven't revisited those mods in like quite a while. What's that, Cyrus? Exchange currency and coins of Tamriel. Yeah, so it's like, I have spent a lot of time in the past looking at these. It's been a while, so I can't remember the exact implementation that I had kind of settled on. But rest assured, I'm trying to find like a system that is like the goal here. The reason I'm even bothering at all is because I want the practical means of like not having to carry around like, you know, literally tons of gold, because that's just silly. Which I guess kind of feeds into point 2, which is making the world feel a bit more believable by virtue of having like a realistically modeled currency system. So that's number 2. Number 3, arguably the most important, is that the system has to be intuitive and not like overly tedious. A little bit of tedious I'm okay with, evidently. Not too tedious. That's like the main thing. Not too tedious and intuitive. It has to be very clear. If it's going to be something where you're manually changing out coins and stuff, it needs to be obvious, like how to do that, why to do that, where to do that. Probably my preferred system would be like just the bit where like you get a bunch of random coins and it just gets automatically converted to currency. Like denominations. I don't know. There's a couple different ways to do it. And some really cool mods in that space. It's just not something that's been a priority. What's up, bruh?
Need something?
I'm kind of secretly hoping that we'll run into Mayik.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What about your friend?
With 3 beers down, the orc did frown and bid the elf.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to create something. Yeah, I'm like, I could script it. My coding is a lot stronger now than it was before, so there's a lot of different places. I'm just laying the X on side. It's like shit. Shorza, that's easy. I can get that one. Thank you. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, totally. It's like, who's breaking into these ruins and leaving all these coins? That is an important one. Old Nordic coins and so like if you have like old Nordic coins in the ruins, and then when you pick them up, they're like automatically converted to like the gold amount that they're worth, theoretically, right? That would be great. Usually I feel like the mods that add that end up, you kind of have to sell the gold coins for their currency value, which is not terrible. Because then it's basically like selling any other resource, right? So that would be acceptable. There's just a lot of different approaches.
Need something?
You follow me?
Nah.
I need to get someone to follow me because I want to test out something we
I'd
encountered
appreciate it if you don't bother my wife, Topher.
in the other
She's
streams.
still in mourning.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind necessarily having to go to someone to exchange the currency as long as once you got there it was relatively easy to do, right? I love the idea of having banks. I know that Holds adds banks, and I don't think that there's like it does anything with them pragmatically. I think they're just kind of there for dressing, so it'd be cool to like have them do stuff. There's also some banking mods. Yeah, will do, Cyrus. I've definitely like I've gone into both like extensively. Like if I went into my like Google Keep notes, you would find like in fact, actually here, let me look for this. I'm gonna do this off screen over here because some of my notes or more personal, not professional. Can I search for coin? Maybe it's over here? Coin. Okay, well I can't find it. Maybe coins? I don't know how good the search is. Well, I definitely have notes somewhere on like crazy implementations of coin stuff. See, I almost kind of like that kind of stuff, Cyrus. The idea of like, also here, maybe this will kind of contextualize it. One of the other things, like one of the other mechanics that I would really like to add is like real estate, right? It's like the real estate continued or like whatever. Something where you can like purchase properties and kind of like manage businesses, like invest, you know, just become like an angel investor kind of thing. It is like, ironically, sort of capitalism, which is, it is ironic, I guess. But, you know, it's like a cool thing to do, like, with your money, I think, is to have, it's like this almost like side game that's kind of like fueling whatever else you're doing, like, in the world, right? Yeah, like, so take the idea of, like, Helljarken Farm, but, like, expand it out to, like, a systems level, where it's not just a farm randomly over there with, like, a specific quest associated with it, and all you can do is make Helljarken Farm, and it has to be that farm in that spot, or whatever. I think it'd be cool to like add that kind of stuff, like let people make their own fucking real estate empire, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Sounds like it'd be fun to do. Just from like a role-playing perspective. It's all about just providing more role-playing options, making the world feel like a more realistic place. Real worlds have economies, oftentimes speculative economies. So I think it kind of fits. You have, you know, shipping companies, and you have, you know, a mint, clearly, if we have a currency at all. So I think these things reasonably would exist. All kinds of shit like that. Yeah, a way to get rich without delving into dungeons. Like, just moving away from the primary... I mean, I think the primary content in Skyrim specifically will always be dungeon delving, or, like, at the very least, like, fighting things, right? However, I really want to fill out all the rest of that stuff so that it either stands on its own additionally, or just at the very least serves as like a really cool supplement, right, to that other stuff. Yes, I love games like that too. There is a mod like that for Skyrim Tron. It's unfortunately it's like one of those scenarios where I mean, well, there's Storefront by Arthmore. There is one, I can't remember the name of it, but it essentially allows you to open a shop that's like outside Whiterun, which is something. It's kind of the same problem as Helljarken Farm, where it would be nice if it operated on the systems level, where it wasn't just that you can open this one shop here only, and it has to be here, and it has to be this shop. It'd be cool if you could, like, open up a shop wherever, but without that kind of functionality. You know, we'd compromise. Yes, investing into mining locations and supplying them with resources. That would be so cool. I love stuff like that. That's where, like, there's even like some Black Desert inspiration, you could say, right? There's a lot of different stuff that I'd like to add. And yes, like alternate ways. Like, let's say, what if you played as like a merchant who, like, you don't fight yourself, but you're a fucking silver-tongued, you know, trader who hires people to help you. You get a bunch of gold so that you can hire like some really, really solid fighters to help you clear dungeons and, you know, whatever, like clear out a mine that's been captured by some local brigands, and then you can take it over and then kind of manage the operations, like all kinds of stuff like that. And alongside all of these kinds of mechanics, having things like banks and stuff just seems like sensible or cool. It all just kind of fills out the world for me, I guess. Hello.
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, it's really lame that gold doesn't have as many like, I try to give you more useful or like interesting things to buy with your gold. But obviously there's always like room to improve. Thank you, Ender. Ooh, excuse me, bud. I feel like I also need to move this pup because he likes to sit right here and he kind of blocks the way a lot of the time. He's so cute, though. What's going on up there? You think a shout-only build? Well, probably not, just because getting the shouts would be, like, I don't know how you do it. If you say shout only and then also something like what I'm talking about where you hire people to do all your fighting for you, then maybe. But otherwise, I don't know how you'd get the shouts. Unless you also specifically, like, started your own custom start.
Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
Where you made the shouts not require being Dragonborn.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind. I was wrong. Need something?
I just need someone to follow me.
I don't think so.
Whoa. What's up, y'all? So yeah, the problem is, like, I really like the kind of general tavern talking. But if you go and, like, I don't know. Yeah, it is a little bit creepy. I like that, like, when you go up here, it's, like, less loud. Yeah, I feel the same way, Tor. Does being dirty have anything to do with whether they follow you? It's possible, Monica. Maybe I should get showered off, eh? Why don't we? I'm also thirsty, so I can drink some of the water. What's this way? Bathing room. Hey, bud.
How splendid. Another Nord. Thank you. Here, this is for you. If you need another drink, I'll be right here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it affects your speech. Let's see. I'm only slightly dirty, though, so it's probably not giving me a debuff yet. Here we go. We in the water. This is probably safe to drink. What do you think? It's my drink key. I always forget. Maybe not. Is it not recognizing it? Guess not. What about bathing? Alright. NSFW. Nobody look. Not really. I also need to adjust the lighting templates in here. It's based primarily on your speechcraft. Shorza. You know what it is? I keep wanting to read it as, like, Yorzia or whatever the name is from Final Fantasy XIV. Look, now we're all nice and clean. Oh, yeah. Did Vikings bait? This looks so nice, honestly.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire.
Magic,
Take
you know.
a seat and get the cold out.
Check my stats. Which way? Oh yeah, plot. So you were talking about the what's it called? Debuffs, right? Did you see my notes on the ticket? What's up, bruh?
Come slumming to the Grey Quarter, have you?
Yeah. And murders in Windhill? You got it. I like a full meal, please. They're so much more expressive with, like, expressive face gen morphs. I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? And high poly head. It's such an improvement, even without any of the additional NPC improvements. I don't know. It's just here. Let's try this. Configuration. Sounds of Skyrim civilization. Go. Disable tavern. Let's get out. Go back. I turned off some of the really, like, obvious. Well, it might not turn off while I'm in here. Some of the really obvious sounds. Whoa.
Yes?
Cool.
Need something?
Nah,
Nah, I don't think so.
alright, fine. Jeez, okay.
You look a bit... Need something?
Maybe it's the track? Somebody please.
I don't think so.
I just want to test this mechanic. Fine, alright, fine. Here. Force app, no. Yeah, okay. To 80. How's my speech now? Biatch?
Yes. Need something? All right, then.
Alright, let's see. I want to see how long they'll follow me for. / will they follow me through cells? It's actually kind of appropriate because this is the last cell that we try to do this in. Oh, okay, so he is following me. They will follow me through cells. He'll probably follow me for like a long time. Or maybe it's distance-based? Oh, excuse me. Still coming? He's like, hell yeah, I am. Come on. We can go outside the city. Oh, yeah. That dog. I'm gonna take a picture of this dog. But this is not the best place to stand. Here. Whoops. But you are so cute. Just so you know. Bud, you almost had it. Oh, is he going back now? Oh, he is. No, okay, no, he's still following me. He just can't figure out how to get... Okay. Buddy, I'm sorry. You just gotta get on out of there. I wish those had physics, too. Gotta go this way. Come on, bud. Too many NPCs. Excuse me. Enable him. Okay, fine. There, he's back. Whoops. Keep accidentally hitting my trigger. There he is. Where'd my guy go? Oh, he's right there. Let's go, bruh. Why is Voldsy just standing here? Now you get out of the way. Are you serious of the reason you won't come over here? Weird. Okay. I don't know. It's kind of a cramped area. I get it. Nav meshing, probably having some difficulty. Come on, bud. He's like, okay, this is getting old. Thanks for hanging out, Tor. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the gifted subs. What is up, Rear Isle? Bro, you're slowing down. Come on. Oh, the 4 light source limit. It's my holy grail. I think pretty good, Rear Isle. We're really just, as Plot was saying earlier. Oh, fuck. The gates are locked. Well, guess what? I have godlike powers, and I can... Wait, did he stop? Oh, is he not following me anymore? I think he finally got bored. He's like, okay. Is this him? Yeah, it is.
Need something?
Yeah.
All right, then.
So, that's fine. I like the idea that, you know, it, like, breaks off that way. I just would like there to be a notification when this person has stopped following me. That's probably something I could do relatively easily. Unlock. More specifically about the progress, it's really just a bunch of little tiny bug fixes. I got really lucky, at least thus far, knock on wood. I got really lucky that, you know, there was nothing more serious found by the team, at least thus far. Oh, looks like he didn't want to follow me outside the city, though. Yeah, the light source limit is a real bummer. Especially since it's like fixed on Fallout 4, so I'm like, please. Bethesda, please. Alright, let's go wandering around outside. Yeah. Yep, it's a huge pain in the ass. We may end up having to use quick light, actually. I really like wearable lanterns, but it's got some quirks, unfortunately. If we have... Oh my god, if they did that, I would be like... I bet you they won't do it. There's no way. Yeah, it's really annoying. Yep, I agree, Tron. It's a big old bummer and makes me sad. Oh, why are you overwriting? Huh? That's not good. No. Yeah. It sucks. It's a big bummer. And I really hope it gets fixed. I mean, I've said this in the past, right? Where there are definitely bugs that I never thought would be fixed. So... Or, like engine quirks that I never thought we'd have a solution to. And, you know, the wizards over at like the reverse engineering Discord have managed to fix many of those. So never say never, I suppose. I just really hope that we can get that. Power cooldown ready. Is that immersive horses? Where's that from? Something's not processing strings properly. Yeah, they're nuts. So vampires are going to be that. I would qualify that as the kind of mechanics changes that I was talking about before, King, where they're not amazing. They're just Requiem default, at least in this first version. But I am going, like, here's like kind of a non-comprehensive list of mechanics that I'll be primarily focusing on for the next versions. Vampirism is in there. Religion is in there. What you might call generally like life skill like type things. So, you know, like the real estate and jobs. Just kind of like ways to make money and just kind of live in the world without necessarily killing things. In that same vein, non-lethal combat options, so things like knockout, potentially, you know, sleeping and stuff of that nature. What else? Cooking is probably in there as well. Fishing, probably from Anniversary Edition fishing, because it seems to be the best option we've got. And what else? Probably birth signs are going to get a bit of an overhaul as well. I feel like I'm missing something. But that would explain kind of the general like vibe of where my focus is, if that makes... like regional reputation mechanics. So like Skyrim reputation and like Predator, so that if you are a like a vampire or werewolf kind of preying on like an area, then you will start to kind of, you know, make a name for yourself, so to speak. So just kind of what you might call reactivity mechanics, I guess. What else? Pilgrim, maybe. Moonshow. That's a Mucho. Sorry, not Moonshow. That is Simon's, I believe. Pilgrim. How you doing, Icon? If so, I really like Pilgrim a lot. I think I'm leaning more like Winter Sun because of the specific way that it implements its favor mechanic, because I'm kind of looking for something that is like a train and study style. Like, I want you to be able to expend time like praying or studying or meditating to your like gods. So just a lot of stuff like that. Oh, whoops. That's not good, Sarnal. Very likely Sacrosanct Tron, I would say. Oh, interesting. I did not know that, Mucho. Look at these big old mammoths. Oh, yeah, Wounds is another one. Well, so not probably Wounds itself, but probably, I mean, maybe Wounds, because if it's not this other mod, then that's probably where I'm going to go. But the creator of Sunhelm, Colin's Wrath, has created an injury system, an injury mod, that has basically the implementation of wounds that I've been looking for forever. That is basically the same injury system as like Metal Gear Solid 3 and a lot of other games as well, where when you take damage to your attributes, you kind of lose like a maximum amount, almost like Dark Souls or something like that, except for not quite the same like injury system, but the same way that like when you're Hollow or whatever game you're talking about, whichever version you are speaking about specifically, the way that like as you start to take damage, the max amount of health that you have is like capped until you like deal with your wounds. Is that what he called it? Incremental injuries? Then that's probably the one I'm going to be experimenting with. But yeah, so stuff like that, wounds, basically anything that kind of connects you to the world more. I said jobs already. That's like a big one. Why did she hold his axe so weird? Run away, little skeever. Get out of here. I'm gonna get you. Yes, exactly like how radiation damage works. Just for all of your attributes, basically. And something else I probably wanted to add was natural growth and decay for like some of your attributes, so that like as you kind of do things, you can grow your basic attributes and also your you can lose attributes as well. That float up. Stop. Brutal. What happened here? Consider the first aid mod or bandage mod as an alternative for health regen if you don't want to... Yeah, totally. Or I haven't seen first aid or bandage, but that was one of the things I liked about both Requiem and Wounds, was the way that you could kind of like address your injuries. So my kind of ideal implementation here is a system where, like, let's say you get injured, it kind of encourages you to take it easy, maybe rest up for like a few days while you're doing the resting up for a few days. Yo, thank you. Whoa, anonymous tip, $20. Yo. What the heck? Thank you so much, Anonymous. Big round of applause for Anonymous, y'all. Thank you. And how humble, too. A mysterious benefactor. Wounds, Morrowind. Oh yeah, that's pretty brutal. That's, I mean, I guess it's realistic. I don't know. I'm not looking for something that makes things super tedious. What I'm looking for is something that slows the pace of your goals a little bit, so that you kind of have the opportunity to shift them up. So like, I imagine a case scenario where, you know, let's say that you're on the road and you are, let's go deep with it. You're a trader and you're doing, you know, a route from Markarth to Winterhold. You've gotten a bunch of gold from the Markarth mines, and you're taking all that gold and silver, and you're going to go across the world and sell it in a place where you think it's going to be really valuable. And let's say as you roll into Rorikstead, you and your party of hired help come across a pack of wolves. One of the wolves slips through their guard, bites you, and you end up kind of injured. And you're not very strong. You're kind of a squishy merchant type, so you don't want to push your luck too much. So maybe you're kind of held up in Rorikstead for like a day or two, right? And while you're there in Rorikstead for a day or two, you have some interesting things to do. You can't... Oh, this is one of the other mechanical ones that I didn't talk about, is more ways to expand your relationships with NPCs. So like, stuff that allows you to, you know, kind of like immersive speechcraft, but more. So you can become friends with people. That one Winking Skeever mod where you can, I think it's him, where you can get like little quests from people, like little tasks and things like that. And they, you know, you can gain favor and disposition with them. So let's say that your merchant guy gets held up in Rorikstead for like a day. How do you spend the day, right? Like maybe you hang out at the tavern and make some friends and play some card games. Maybe gamble a little bit of the money that you made in order to try and turn it into more. Maybe you go fishing or something in like the local hole because it's a relatively safe activity and you can use it to get some fish and maybe some food because you want to practice your cooking. Maybe you study or meditate to, you know, you study your book of mercantilism and learn some additional speechcraft, or maybe you meditate for a little bit to pray a bit to who's the merchant god? It's come on, Zenithar. And just, or yeah, maybe you spell research, right? You just kind of work on your magic and start studying some new spells or whatever. The idea is that the game is evolving your character by, or yeah, maybe you're kind of a gnarly merchant and you're praying to Clavicus Vile instead of Zenithar, or whatever it is. The idea is that the game is imposing challenges on you. The game is imposing circumstances that you didn't necessarily think of, so that your character is forced to like evolve and grow in interesting ways, and you are given fun choices to make at any given point as to how you should spend your time, is kind of the idea. And I just like or maybe, I don't know, maybe during that time, maybe you're a fucking vampire and you end up needing to feed like right around that time, and you're kind of stuck in town because you don't want to risk getting more hurt, or maybe you're just an evil bastard, so you spend that time. It's like, oh, I'm just, your poor traveling merchant who has been waylaid by my sprained ankle for a little bit, but actually you're a fucking vampiric predator of sorts who is waiting for the sun to go down so that you can, stop. Maybe you wait a day and you kind of map out everyone's daily schedule, and then you kind of stalk your prey like in the night and end up feeding on someone or killing them or something. And maybe you get caught and then you have to flee in the middle of the night. Just all the kinds of crazy, role-playing options that can happen if you have all of those systems and mechanics in place. And that's why I'm so focused on getting these mechanics in, or like better spell learning is another one for sure. Different mechanics for like learning spells, blah, blah, blah. I would like to get all these kinds of mechanics in place, because once you have all these different toys to play with, then as you expand the content in the game, like let's say we turn Solitude into this like massive kind of merchant dock, big capital city, the way it was kind of only, or how we all kind of envisioned it in our heads. It just makes all of those systems and mechanics 10 times more interesting, because you have more interesting, fun ways to kind of put it all together. You know what I mean? I feel like you're calling me out on my spooky Vamp Girl playthrough. I will only be playing for about 15 more minutes. Icon, and then I'm going to have to get some other stuff done. Also, I'm going to burp. Excuse me. Curses could be like a magical equivalent of injuries. You get in a fight with a Haggrave and come away with a permanent diva. I love it. Love it, Pumpkin Cake. Curses is like a gnarlier form of diseases, essentially. Having like a curse mod would be so cool. Or like stuff like, are you guys familiar with, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Apoaps, who is the creator of Librum, right? One of the other mod packs that's available on Wabbajack. Oppo has some of his own like mods that he's created to kind of like expand on mechanics in this way. One of the ones that he's made, or at least this one I know he's made, is like Daggerfall style kind of traits. So you get these like Fallout or Daggerfall-y like traits for your character that makes them, maybe they really like certain things, but they really don't like other things. Or like there's like a few, you should go and look at the mod on the Nexus, right? To make sure that you're getting like a good idea of it. But just stuff like that, where it just all kind of makes your character more unique, evolves your character, evolves the world, and just kind of evolves the what's possible, like in a role-playing game set in like a big 3D, oh god, that's thunder, universe like this. Yeah, like a positive negative perk system. That is awesome plot. Yeah, that is like exactly the goal, right? Oh, Death Hounds. I don't like that. See ya. Can you look behind you? Is there a button for that? Is that Oppo's, Monica? Jump. I kind of wish I had a better... Oh, animations. That's not really mechanics, but I would like to look into animations a little bit. someone asked earlier, I don't think I answered it, about whether I'd be doing like Sky SA and a lot of these other like animations mods. I'm pretty particular about the animations that I'm willing to add, but the idea of like having more fluid animations definitely appeals to me. Like, look at what is this weird kind of monkey walk that is kind of like Skyrim by default. I believe this is a slightly enhanced version, but so I'll definitely be looking into that kind of stuff for those of you who are animations fans out there. Guys, look, it's Darkwater Crossing. So yeah, once all those mechanics and things like that are in place, then I want to start building out the locations and making them a bit more realistically scaled, making the cities bigger, maybe adding things like quest mods. Ouch. That's all stuff that I think kind of takes place after you have those kind of core mechanics in place. At least that's how I prioritized it in my head. Yeah, I've definitely thought about it, mucho. It's really just a matter of like, what is like the priority, right? Like my dream kind of thing would be, oh, you have the same mechanics that we have like in Ultimate Skyrim, right? And like in Skyrim, expanded out to like other areas in Tamriel, right? That would be super rad. It's a lot of work. It really just depends on kind of how the project grows, whether it grows. What's up, y'all? Ooh, I love those wind sounds. Take that in. Oh, yeah. Dahanju, that is exactly what I intend to do. Oh, that would be crazy. If I could play, like, oh my god, this really wouldn't make sense, I don't think, but like, holy crap, if I could play like Skyblivion with like Ultimate Skyrim mechanics and like content, I would be like so happy. I want to make sure the drink hotkey is working. But you should be able to play it on the Steam Deck, just FYI. Oh, plot. Definitely let me know about that, too. I'm curious as well. Is Sunhelm still on? Doesn't seem to be working. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, just a tick. Yeah, it's enabled. Fill hotkey. Display notifications. Widget display. Need settings. Where is my drink hotkey? Okay, what the? Well, no, that's it. Is it working? Does not seem to be. Oh, there it goes. That was weird. I just had to hit it multiple times? Wait, do I have... Are the messages enabled right now? Hold on a second. Tongues trance, no sign of ritual. Let me get help weather sense. I haven't seen any messages for like a little bit. Whoops. 2701, 6215. Oh, they are. I mean, I can see them there. It's weird that odd. The answer is yes now, Lizzie, because I fixed... Did you see the ticket that I fixed where I stopped it from turning off all the time? Yeah, it's because it probably kept turning off, but it shouldn't now. I challenge you. Yeah, so the reason for that is because there's basically just kind of like an obscure int that I also needed to set to a particular value in order to, make the mod think that it's on still. Gotcha, Cisco. That might be fixed at this point. Let me see here. How's my, yeah, it seems to be working for us. It would kind of turn itself off a bunch in the build that, wow, Balian has. Oh, these vampires. I should have known. There were fucking, there were, what's it called? Death hounds around. Whoa. Help me, please. Where's the guards? Where have they gone? Please help. There's vampires. I see them. Sir, there's vampires.
Need something?
There's trouble.
Oh.
Help me, please.
Come on.
Let's do it. Whoa. Get him. Fuck that vampire bitch. Ow. Get him. We did it. Thank you, sir. You've saved my life. Yeah, I agree, Mucho. Woo! You've saved my life, good sir. I owe you my life. Orgnolf the Wolf.
Trouble? Need something?
Thank you. I would love to gift you a...
How can I argue with that?
Please, have my... cabbage potato soup. Have I demoed the bee? No, I have not. I should do that right now. I can't do it to him though. He's the chiller. Here, wait. Y'all, Jay, our team member, found a very fun Easter egg in immersive speechcraft. Help bee. What would it be? No. Wait. Help B. No. It's Misk? No. There we go. A91953. I have 3 Bs. I feel like guards should be more likely to help you ask over a normal civilian. Yeah, that would be cool, Tron. Primarily, you want the guards, like, factioning to not really depend on that kind of thing, so that if there's a creature that's, like, very obviously hostile, they'll just go after it anyway. He might have done that with the vampires, because the vampires and the guard factions are, like, automatically that way. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know if he would have helped there. But yeah, it would be cool if there was a way. You know what? I'm gonna make a ticket about that really fast. Let me oh, Milo Valencia. I think that's fixed, by the way, Lizzie. Did I mention that? Although probably I can undo my fix and then do the Charmbarian fix. Feature make guards more likely to help when asked. Immersive speechcraft. Say, I'm probably not going to make that. No scope create. Priority medium, that's fine. Probably only 1 story point. Dope. And just like that, it's a feature issue. Oh my god, it's already 3 o'clock. Alright, well here, I'll just show this really fast. The copper cast in. Hello? I know the lighting template for this area is wrong, but it's actually okay. What's up, bud?
Come on in. We've got food for the hungry, drink for the thirsty, and beds for the weary.
That is E-Tac voice actor for sure.
Come back anytime.
It's not bad. It's just a little, you can hear the mic quality. Check this out. Oh wait, no, it's Speechcraft.
What can I get for you? Food, drink, need a bed for the night?
Oh, interestingly, these NPCs must not be tagged properly. These are Jenna's, like, E-Tac NPCs. They don't have immersive speechcraft or any of the innkeeper things. She's probably not going to do it either.
Sorry about that.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Not much, I'm afraid. Not really. It's more like an extended visit. I've had a head cold for as long as I can remember. Who ever heard of a Nord with a head cold? I can still play instrumentals, but yes, it's limited my career a lot. Goodbye.
It's weird. It kind of grew on me over the course of the conversation, right? It was just alarming. Like straight out the gate. Alright, well, here we go. Lyris the Haughty.
I heard the gourmets. Need something?
Yeah. Check this out. You can be people.
I saw you do that, you know?
Aw.
Everything's in order.
Well, you can if you were successful at it, which apparently I was not. Yeah, that was scary. That was alarming. Well, anyway, with that, dude, you got to be able to be people. It's the classic move, not the bees. Anyway, y'all, that's about... Uh-oh, I think we're running out of battery here. That'll do it for me. I hope that this has been an enjoyable stream for you. I certainly had a good time. It was really nice to be back and just get to say hello to everyone again. And I shouldn't have any other big cross-country trips to prevent me from doing any of the weekly streams. Thank you all so much for the subs. I still frankly cannot believe how many subs there were in this stream. I think what should have happened is that they freak out, Lizzie, right? Yeah, so anyway, I'll keep you guys posted, you know, going forward. My plan for this next week is just to continue fixing all the bugs that the team has found. Just getting the release ready. The ideal scenario is that we'll kind of have everything ready to go or almost ready to go when we get a clear picture of what's going to happen with the anniversary edition. Ah, gotcha, Lizzie. That's awesome. So, and thank you guys for helping me sort out like a lot of those ideas with like Twitch and merch and stuff. I really kind of like talking with you about it because, you know, it just helps me make a decision more clearly, I think. And yes, the weekly streams will continue after the release, and maybe for fun, I'll push for partner on Twitch. I probably, it's just, in terms of priorities, like, I still need to, let's say if I end up doing that thing eventually, right, where I start to shift some of my time away from Ultimate Skyrim towards, like, my own independent game development, even if I don't do that, even if I still continue focusing on Ultimate Skyrim primarily, which is what I plan to do for a very long time, or at least for the foreseeable future, excuse me, because there's a lot of features that I would like to add, I'm still going to need to juggle my time intelligently. I think that doing, you know, like 9 hours of streaming a week, like, I don't want to be a streamer first and foremost. I would like to be a content creator second and a developer first. So if I can make a partner push, get the partner badge, get some of the additional emotes and like fun things that gets you, and then maybe scale it back a bit, back to a more reasonable, maybe like 3 hours a week kind of thing, I think that would still be a lot of content, and we could play, you know, we can do Let's Plays together, like, still a lot of fun stuff we could do while still ideally leaving enough time for development, I think. And that's kind of going to be my goal, I think. But, you know, I'll keep you all posted. When I decide to push for partner, if I decide to do that, obviously y'all will be the first to know. Until then, I'm just going to be working on this series of bug fixes. So I really appreciate y'all joining me. I seriously am so thankful for all the subs and everything. And let's go ahead and see if there's anyone online right now that we can rate. Oh, there is. That there is. If y'all still want some Elder Scrolls content, we got our boy Zero Period Productions, George, who is live right now. What is he doing? He's playing Skyrim. He's playing Beyond Skyrim Bruma. So hey, you want to check that out. Probably only worry that you'll burn out on US, which would suck for me personally. We understandable given the time you put into this. I understand that, Monica. I appreciate the consideration. I'm really, it's valid, and it's actually, to be honest with you, one of the reasons why I've been looking into kind of starting these side hustles so much, just because it kind of gives me something else to do. Even, I really do love Ultimate Skyrim, but obviously working on the same thing all the time can be mind-numbing for like anyone, no matter how much you like something. So just having other things to do, whether it's like, even just stuff like I've been doing like a bit of podcast editing for like our neighbor who's starting a podcast. I'm getting paid to do that. Doing this little side hustle that we have planned where I'll be hopefully like converting old VHSs for like grandmas and stuff. That's kind of something I'd like to do because I have the equipment for it. And just, I don't know, maybe eventually kind of shifting some of my time over, even just getting some of my game ideas on paper, or starting to like kind of dabble in these like other game development things while I still do Ultimate Skyrim. You never know. It might also feed a lot of that energy back into Ultimate Skyrim. Yeah, I would say, I mean, the past 2 years, I think, you know, what really makes me burn out, if I'm honest, is just, it's the income element. It's like my wife makes a lot more than I do, and she's contributing so much more to like our future is what it feels like, you know, in terms of savings. I would just like to get to a point where I am able to save like a reasonable amount per year, right? Almost kind of approximate my own 401k, so to speak. And I really do think that's possible with something like Ultimate Skyrim, especially after we release on Special Edition, and especially once we have some of these cute like merch ideas, and especially once I have some of these side hustles that are kind of hopefully going to take some of that pressure off. So I don't know. I think that the prospects are really solid. There's obviously a lot to do between then and now, but I'm optimistic for sure. And of course I will keep you guys posted. And I really appreciate your support. I really, really do. It means the world to me that y'all are interested enough in this project to follow it and watch my dev streams and donate all of your hard-earned human dollars. Like, it's really immensely humbling. I mean it. And I really appreciate it, is all. Alright, y'all. Zero Period Productions. Let's get that raid going. Finally signed up for Patreon 5 years late. Hey, there's no such thing as late, and there's no obligation of any kind. Thank you so much, Monica, by the way. I really appreciate it. Y'all are, I consider everyone who attends these streams, y'all are kind of like the ride or die homies, because I do anticipate we'll get more users, or that it'll, you know, kind of blow up like a teensy bit at the very least with Special Edition. I really don't know what to expect. I've said that before. But it'll be cool because I think all of y'all, and like your names, of course, I recognize because you've been at all the streams. And then, of course, some of you are patrons. Some of you donate crazy amounts. Some of you just been in the community for forever, like time and space. And just a lot of people. So I think it'll be cool once we're... I'll have to try not to play favorites once, you know, we get a few new people rolling in. Anyway, y'all, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Oh, happy Halloween. Oh my God, I forgot that it's Halloween. Fuck, well, you're going to get a very hungover version of me. I'm pretty sure that we finally get to throw a Halloween party again, which is my wife and I's favorite thing, like favorite party to throw. This is the first one we've gotten to throw in like 2 or 3 years because of COVID. So I'm really excited for that. And I fully expect that the hangover that I will have will probably last me all the way to Thursday. So that's what you'll probably see. Anyway, thanks again. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Halloween. Please stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.